Hello, we're live.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, morning show. Today, we're going to have a good show. Today's going to be a special day because none other than George Jiggity Chandrizos is live in the studio with us. It's a Wednesday.
Hey. What's up?
Dad, you're embarrassing us. George, the resident father, I mean, technically so am I, but George has a hit podcast about being a father. They are tales from the fatherhood.
Chupapi.
Just as dad, Chupapi Muñeño. Him and his buddies talk about raising kids in the 21st century and how they go about beating the gay out of them. I don't agree with their methods. I think it's crazy. It's not a choice. That's just who they are, George. Let them love who they want to love. Aside from being flagrantly homophobic, he also has another podcast called The Backstage Podcast, and it is producing the fuck out of the show this morning.
Yay.
He's looking stylish today. I like it. His shoes are like socks. It's very stylish, very modern. It's like from the future.
I'm a modern man.
It even has toes. It's like those toe shoes.
They don't have to. Don't
And my name is Phil Balabanos. I'm right here at balabanos.com. You need videos. You need commercials. You need all kinds of fun videos and content for your social media needs. You want to make a movie? Fuck it. Let's make a movie. Hit me up, balabanos.com. And with that, I end the plugs and we start the greatest morning show that ever was.
Ever lived. How's it going?
It lives?
It lives.
In you. Remember that? It's Lion King.
The what?
Lion King.
Oh, yeah.
Are you too old for the Lion King?
No, I don't really like it.
George is so fucking, he's like, oh, I gotta stop coming on this show. People are gonna think I hate gay people. It's fucking
He
weird.
does hate gay people.
He doesn't
I
hate
don't
gay
hate
people.
I got a lot of gay
He
friends.
loves the gay people. He fucking
really?
loves the
You
gays.
have a lot of gay friends, huh, George?
Yeah, I do.
How many
Do
gay
you
friends
really?
do you have?
Yeah, I do.
You spend time in the Quebec government.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't a joke. That wasn't a joke at all.
It's just funny.
It's just like I find that Quebec's fonctionnaire body, a
Yeah.
lot of gay men.
A lot of
When I was a fonctionnaire, they were like, what do you mean you're not a gay guy? I'm like, I'm not a gay guy. They're like,
Yeah.
what are you doing here? How'd you get this job? It was just me and like 40 other gay guys. It was really strange.
Yeah, no, there's quite a bit of homosexuals up on the on the hills, whether it's in Ottawa or in Quebec, mind you.
Did you say there's homosexuals on the hill? There's gays in them there hills.
With Georgia, instead of the hills have eyes, it's the
Yeah, where are you going with this? Let's see. Do it. Finish the joke.
the hills have anal sex, bro.
Sure, okay.
So much potential.
I know. What would you have said?
The hills have pretty eyes. It's better, no?
Yeah.
It's subtlety, Poseidon. You gotta be subtle.
Or the hills.
Oh no.
How about nothing, brother? How about we just drop it before
You know
it
when the
gets
car's
worse?
about to hit the car in front of you, that feeling you get? That's what I felt right now. Like, it's coming. Fucking get hit with the beanbag, the airbag. The beanbag.
With the beanbag. How's it going, guys?
Good. You know.
Yeah.
Poseidon's got the COVID, it seems.
No, I
What?
don't.
No, I know.
I don't know, man. See, this is what
like
we're
cough.
talking about before we went live. I feel like we've, we're reaching this this period
A
where
nexus.
No, everyone is kind of feeling confident about themselves, the situation. We're a little bit less careful. Everyone seems to be vaccinated, and therefore they're forgetting that they can still be. There can still be risks.
You can still contract the disease known as COVID.
So I just feel like everyone is like in this relaxed mood.
I don't think that's true at all.
No?
I think the biggest disservice to ending the pandemic we ever did was convincing vaccinated people that unvaccinated people are a danger to them. That might be true, I don't know. But the real danger is that there's still people who are completely unvaccinated, or for whatever reason. I don't mean the ones who chose, like people who can't be vaccinated.
Right.
And they're kind of fueling the spread of the disease.
But if
I
you're
don't know how
vaccinated,
dangerous it is to them.
You can still spread if you're vaccinated.
I know, but look, I'm just taking them at face value, taking them at their word that if I'm vaccinated, even if I get it, I'll be fine, right? But like, you can still spread. You can still spread polio if you have the polio vaccine,
Yeah.
but you don't get really sick from it. You still catch it.
You can still spread AIDS if you don't have AIDS.
I don't see how. With like a hypodermic needle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go around just fucking
Stabbing people? Yeah, yes. In that sense, yes, you can absolutely still spread AIDS while not having AIDS.
But it's funny that you mentioned that because there's an article in La Presse that came out that has officially put the age bracket of 5 to 11 in the most most affected age group right now.
Well, that makes sense to some extent.
How does that make sense?
if you have a virus that most people, 82 or 84% of the population is now vaccinated and immunized against, and then you have no more lockdowns, which I'm not advocating for lockdowns. I'm just saying if you have those kids back in school and in the classroom, chances are that's where this, because the virus didn't go away yet.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I don't think it ever will. It's just transmitting among the easiest targets, which is people who are unvaccinated, it seems.
Yeah, so basically the article talks about having close to 150 new cases per day in the youngsters in that age group.
But are they getting sick?
Well, see, this is the thing.
No one's saying.
Yeah, no, these are new cases. We're not talking about hospitalization. This comes back to the discussion that we've always had. I mean, it's one thing to count cases.
Sorry, I'm just pulling a Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, like it's one thing to be counting infections and how many cases there are.
Which we need to know, I guess, to some
It's
extent.
fine,
Sure.
but I think the most important number are the hospitalizations. I think that's when you know that it's getting very serious. But at the same time, I mean, it's important for them to mention the cases as well, because if you have it, you automatically carry the potential of spreading it too, right? So,
Sure, but at the same time, if we all have it and it's not affecting us because of the vaccines, then that's a win in my book. I mean, I don't know if that's the case.
People
I'm
just
just
need
saying.
to be careful, man. It's like, you know, and we were talking about this before we went on live about our kids in the schools and how they have this very strict policy about, look, your kid has a runny nose, keep it home. You know what I mean? And I really don't mind. Yeah, keep the kid home.
Keep the kid home.
And I don't mind about that. My kid stayed home yesterday. Her nose was runny. And because I'm one of those parents that go pick up the kids from school, and I see the other kids running around with their fucking schnotz.
I used to get
I'm
mad.
like, why are they? Why? It's disgusting.
When she was in daycare, I used to yell at other parents, like before the pandemic, like the kid's like coughing up a lung.
Look what he's
like he
doing.
sounds like he has a black lung, like he smokes 3 packs of cigarettes a day. And I was like, oh, your son's got a little cough there. They're like, yeah. I'm like, keep the kid home. Like, why is your kid coughing on my kid?
Yeah.
But these are also some bitch ass kids. Let's be honest. I'll explain to you why there's some
Please
bitch ass
explain to me why they're
Bitch-ass
bitch-ass
kids.
Yeah,
kids.
the bitch ass kids, bro. They're not fucking cool. They're fucking nerds. Okay, they're fucking nerds.
What are you basing this
Because,
on?
bro, as soon as I would even have the slightly like a small
Mom,
cough,
I'm sick.
Mom, I'm sick. I can't go to school, bro. These kids are nerds and they're losers in today's day and age, bro. Me, as soon as I would have had, bro, runny nose. I'm dying, bro. I'm dying. Anything to stay home from school, bro. These kids are big fat nerds, bro.
It's actually
He really went hard there. I let him keep going, but it was intense.
It's actually the opposite, man. It's like, you were like, my nose is runny, I gotta stay home. Regardless of whether or not you were doing it on purpose. But you got to give to
was
these
doing it
kids.
on
They're like,
purpose.
runny
Doing it on
nose,
purpose.
fuck that shit, man.
I
I'm
don't
going
know.
to school.
My kid, when she's sick and she can't go to school, she's like, all right. Because she knows staying home is not going to be any more fun. Like I used to in high school and stuff. Yeah, fuck that. I'm staying home and watching TV. But in elementary school, like I was just lonely all day. I had no other kids to play with. I was
Why?
bored.
You were a loner in elementary school.
When I was sick at home,
Oh,
yeah, I
when
was
you were sick at
alone.
home. Okay.
I was absolutely alone. My grandmother would bring me soup, a little fucking lapa to nurse me back to health. I'd eat some Jello. I'd watch fucking Mr. Dress Up. Maybe a bit of Jerry Springer if no one caught me. Like, hey, turn that off. I'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe that's his mom.
Mr. Dress Up.
Yeah, the Canadian Mr. Rogers.
So funny.
Yeah. But, staying... Oh, and Price is Right.
Yeah.
That's what you did when you were homesick. And
I
then
played
my
video
sister would
games.
come home after school and I'd have company again. Like, otherwise you're by yourself. But when you're older, yeah, you're like, oh... I sneeze crooked. I must be dying, Mom. Can't go to the...
Even
can't
in
go to school.
elementary, bro, I'd stay home and play Game Boy all day.
I didn't have a Game Boy.
I didn't have a Game Boy.
My understanding of your childhood was that you grew up on the street, like you're from the streets, like you were gangster. But this
No, I
fucking
never said I was a
this socialite fucking degenerate was at home playing Game Boy.
Yeah, when I was 8.
I didn't have a fucking Game Boy.
Because you're not a Game Boy. You're not a cool boy.
You're not a Game Boy.
You're not a cool boy, bro.
What's the what do we got going on, George? Because I'm gonna put him out of his misery. Wow. Yeah.
Obviously, we need to talk about this election, guys. That
Do we?
happened on Monday. We do. I mean, look.
May I summarize it?
$650 million down.
May I
the
summarize the election?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Justin Trudeau was like, yo, people love me. I'm going to fucking call an election right now, and I'm going to get a majority. Then he proceeded to run his mouth during the campaign and gain no new support. He proceeded to talking to Justining.
He lost support.
He Justined so hard that people were like, not only will I not change my mind to vote for you, but a few of his own people were like, maybe I'm not going to vote for that guy this time. And then we're back to where we started.
This is the most incredible thing that I think I've ever seen.
Really?
Dude.
Have you seen him fall downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys see the new blackface photo in color?
But that was an old picture. It was an older picture.
No, I know,
It was
but-
the same picture. It was the same event. Like that.
Did
picture
archaeologists colorize an archival footage photo? That's amazing.
No, there was another blackface picture, but it was.
Wait, a different one?
No, it's the same one, but like a
Oh.
different kind of angle.
Is
or
it this one?
It was
The one where he's
it
holding the woman's
that
neck?
No, it was that same event, but it wasn't with a girl. It was with someone else.
Oh,
Yeah.
with the two guys.
Was it two guys? I don't remember. I can't remember. But anyways,
I
it was
just
at the
think
same event.
I'm always impressed by that photo because not only did he do blackface, have you seen his hands? His
Everything
hands
is
are black too.
Everything. He went full out. Yeah,
I think he painted everything.
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe. But that's
Do you
so
think he
stupid.
got
man.
in all the crevices?
Okay. But I just find it crazy how that picture surfaced like a day before the elections as if it was going to make any difference. No, but yeah, look, guys, we're back at where we started with, a few,
A little shuffle. We did a little
a
shuffle.
little shuffle. And there are a couple seats still that we don't know where they're going to end up. We should be getting the results by the end of the day today.
But it
If not,
doesn't
maybe
really
tomorrow.
matter.
It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, the composition of the parliament is essentially the same.
Oh, that is colorized, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's the picture that came out there. Where
He's like something out of a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Bro, he
Like
went
a Tim Burton
Bro,
movie.
he even did the lips, bro.
No, he didn't do the
No,
lips.
he did
Those
it.
are his lips.
No, that's his tongue.
Poseidon.
yeah, anyways.
Anyways, we did a little shuffle. Actually, this hour has 22 minutes, which hasn't put out a good piece of content in 22 years.
Are you talking about the Matrix?
Yeah, that's
you
a
said-
great fucking skit.
Yeah.
The red pill, nothing changes for Canada. I laughed so hard. I was like, when did they start? When did they
The
get a
orange
sense
pill.
of humor?
I don't know what this does.
I don't know. The orange pill is just like sometimes, honestly, in the dim light, I take it. I think it's the red pill. It's amazing. It's such a great
That's
skit.
so good.
Yeah, look it up, guys. It's called Red Pill, Nothing Changes. It's actually the only funny piece of content they've made in years.
But yeah, basically, look, this is my understanding of what happened in the election. There's one main loser, and as strange as it may seem, it's François Legault, the Prime Minister of Quebec.
Yeah, he came out looking
He is
stupid
the
as fuck.
biggest loser in this entire campaign. Who, like about a week before the elections came out, and
Voter
yeah,
pour le
he
parti
kind of
conservateur.
yeah, he encouraged all Quebecers to vote Conservatives because the policies of the Liberals and the NDP were dangerous for Quebec. That's a quote, direct quote. They were dangerous for Quebec. Essentially, what he wanted was a Conservative minority with a strong bloc opposition, so they could defend the interests of Quebec.
Yeah.
He got neither one nor the other. Huge slap in the face.
I like that people. He came out as the premier of Quebec, the premier ministre, as you will, and he said, "Do this." And they all said, "Yeah, fuck you,
Yeah,
Frank.
yeah.
We're gonna do what we do.
Yeah,
You do your thing. You shut the fuck up." And that's a massive slap in the face for.
It is.
for
It
the
is.
goal.
At
I
the
thought he
same
was more popular than that. I thought he'd have more sway.
Maybe, look, guys, you never know what the purpose was. Did he do it because he really wanted a conservative
I think he
government,
just
or did he
did
do
it.
it to see if people were gonna do what he said, or if he
I don't
had
know
any?
about that.
I don't know about that either. At the end of the day, he had his stuff very well prepared. I think there was a backup plan because yesterday's press conference when he came out, obviously
Yeah.
he was questioned about it, and he goes, "Well, listen, I came out to defend the interests of Quebecers, and I will do the exact same thing. I
And
do
we'll
believe
work with the Trudeau government and blah
well,
blah blah.
we're gonna have to work with him. I called him. I congratulated him. I told him that I disagreed with the national policy that he wants to implement around the old age homes, which is he knew I didn't like it. So in any case, and people are thinking now it's over. It's not over, guys. The federal government is going to work with Quebec, and Quebec is going to work with the federal government, regardless
Sorry,
of whether or not they
can you
like
get
each
some
other.
of these coffees out of here, like in the middle of the frame? They're just here. No one's gonna drink them.
Here.
Like they're driving me crazy because they're dead center. Like fuck Tim Hortons. I don't want to plug them. Whose coffee is this one?
Oh, you brought him one.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see if it comes.
Bro, now I can't work.
What are you talking about, bro? Put it on the floor.
I can't fucking
Put it
work.
on the coffee table. You're not even switching cameras. You're literally on the camera. There's nothing you need to do right now.
So
Did
yeah.
you see him come on talk about what's her name, Dominican Glad yesterday? I just want to jump into that.
When he came out and talked about
Yeah,
it?
they're
About
talking.
what?
The OQLF made their new announcements, right, about what they want to do.
Okay.
So Simon Jean Barrette, is that his name?
Well, the committee started
Yeah, they started the
examining the new
proceedings,
bill.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was asked a question about because he goes, even Dominican Glad, it was in English, that's why I want to bring it up. He goes, even when we tabled it, Dominican Glad, she said this was a good bill, you know? And then all of a sudden, you can tell he's about to say something, and he's like this. He's about to make a burn, right? He's like, I guess she been talking with the community in the West Island. And he does this. Maybe they have good conversation. Like the guy can't even, he's about to make a shitty joke and he's already laughing at it. And I was like, wow, this guy's in charge of stuff. And he was so proud of it. It was like moments in his life, like that joke, getting elected, kissing his sister, like top of his life.
No, I didn't see that.
I'll find it for you.
But to go back to his announcement when he came out and said, "Yeah, look, I mean, we disagreed that we were going to work together," but he said, and this is interesting. And this is what I thought. Everything was calculated. They knew exactly when he made the statement encouraging people to vote for the Conservatives and the Bloc Québécois. They already knew that in case that wouldn't have worked out, what do we say? And his argument, and obviously, like, it makes sense. Anybody could have done that calculation. He's like, well, look, if you think about it, if you add the vote of the Bloc Québécois and the Conservative in Quebec, it's way more than the Liberals. So people did listen to me. It's like, dude, I'm not so sure that's what's going on here.
Well, I'm doing the math that he must have done. And no matter how many times you carry the cheese curd, that doesn't add up.
Yeah, because
that's just him trying to save face. It's not calculated.
No, exactly. Exactly.
They didn't calculate shit. Now they're trying to cover it up. Like, not cover it up, but they're trying to save face.
The stupidest argument to kind of demonstrate that he knew what he was talking about, and of course it doesn't.
He knows some stuff.
Look, guys,
but
let me explain to you one thing. Legault is not just some random guy up on the hill.
No.
He has a lot of experience. He knows the government machine very well, and he understands politics better than anyone.
Doesn't understand cameras well.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
I mean, you were there. We were there together. That's my favorite Legault story. I can't believe he's in charge of the province now. When I've told this story before, I won't tell it again, but me, George, and François Legault once shared an elevator at the fucking National Assembly, and it was fucking... It was epic. He was like an old. He was trying to be friendly, but then I answered in English, and then things just went sideways. He didn't know what. Wait, you don't know this story?
No.
So George had brought me when he was.
I brought him at the National Assembly. We're doing we want to do kind of like a promotional clip and stuff like that. So we had full access. Like I had gotten these guys passes and everything. Like we could go anywhere we wanted. You know.
Yeah, me and my sound guy. Remember, Dave was with us.
And
what?
No, keep going.
I heard it. Did he just make a weird sound? He did, huh?
I said, goddamn.
Oh, goddamn. Okay.
Oh, goddamn. Okay.
So,
George was very important back in the day.
So, we're taking some shots, whatever. Then we walk inside. I can't remember where we're going.
We were going to...
We were going to the office, I think. I'm not sure.
No, you were taking me to... the actual National Assembly to show it to me.
And
we were going to ask if we weren't allowed, but we wanted to ask.
Right.
Because there was nothing in session. So so we go down the hall. If you've ever been in the National Assembly, it's all a bunch of winding, tall halls. It feels like a creepy old high school, honestly. And we get in the elevator, and François Legault walks in with his, I guess, aide.
Yeah, he had a bunch of people around.
So there's like 5 of us. Yeah. No, there's one guy with him. I remember. Just one guy. Okay. And we had one guy with us.
Oh, okay.
So the elevator door opens, we get in, and then the arm comes in, he's like, bonjour, or, very François Legault, that baritone, right? He gets in, and I'm holding a monopod with a camera on it, but it's facing the ground. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm very visibly not filming at this moment. There's a lens cap on. It's not up. I'm having a conversation with George. And he goes, he's about to say something, but we're speaking in English. He goes, you making a video? And we're like, yeah. Cheese. But like there was no camera on him, and I looked at him and he's like, it's good? Like he waited for me to tell him, like, was that a good photo? I'm like, yeah.
No, he was probably messing with you. There's no way he's this retarded.
No. George was there. And then he said, and then he recognized you, he spoke to you, he said something. We told him what we were doing. And he's like, this is fun. And he got out, and that was it. And I looked at George, I go, did he think I took his picture? And he's like, I don't fucking know.
No, it was such a
whatever it was, man. It was just funny.
It was just funny.
No, he was messing with you.
I don't know. Because I don't know. You know why I don't think he was messing with us? Because his aide looked at him like, what? And then looked at me like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, he was messing with his aide as well.
I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. I think he saw a camera and he turned politician. His brain got ahead of him.
It was it was a nice little memory. All this to say that
Yeah, it was a fun little memory.
There's no way he's that insane.
Look, all this to say
You don't know.
There's no way, bro. There's no way.
I don't know the guy. I don't know him personally.
Look, in any case, all this to go back to what
He
we were
was polite.
saying.
I mean, he's a nice guy.
he's a look. I mean, there's no bad people, man. I've seen a lot of politicians, and they're all there for a good reason. They believe in what they want to do. They just disagree with how to do it. That's all. But they're all very nice. And the most amazing thing up on the hill is that you're looking at what happens during question period, where everyone is pretty much just fucking at each other's throats, and then as soon as question period ends,
they go for beers and hookers. Yeah,
it's just incredible.
Right after
the companionship and all the
I
friendly.
should have been a politician.
Yeah, you should have. Everyone's joking around and high-fiving each other in the hallways. Hey, I'll see you later. Yeah, okay, ciao, bye. And they're all going to the different committees.
It's all a game.
And it's not a game. It's just they understand that they're there
It's
for
theater.
a better purpose.
There's a bit of theater.
And that's it. The question period, it's all a circus. You know what I mean? That's because that's where the journalists get their clips from. And it's sensationalism at its best. Anyways, so to go back to Justin Trudeau, the question now remains on what happens. The guy spent $620 million
610, no?
612, I think, something like that, whatever.
What's 20 million, right?
Over $600 million on a bet that he clearly lost. I
think we lost that bet. He made a bet and we all lost.
He made a bet on our behalf.
I have a question for you, George. Everyone's always like, oh, $610 million, we could have spent it on other stuff. Isn't that money always reserved for elections? Like, just I don't know. I'm asking.
No, it's public funds. So
it's not like a specific election fund. Like, this is money that Canada keeps for an election.
They know that. Obviously, there's a reserve. I mean, they're funded, right? Whether they do that in one shot or throughout the mandate, I don't know how that works. But they know that every 4 years we'll need that. Approximate
When was he
amount.
elected the first time?
I'm pretty
in
sure
2015, then there was 2019, and then 18 months later.
No, I meant the beginning of this term,
2019.
It was only 18 months ago.
But that's normal. See, everybody's freaking out. They're criticizing him. And that's what happened during the campaign. All the leaders, they're like, why are you calling an election now? And you don't care. And we're in the middle of a pandemic. And it's the funniest thing to me because as an experienced politician, that you get elected in a minority government, you're looking at around 18 to 20 months, you're going to a campaign. So don't act like you didn't know. Besides, all your coffers are full, the money is loaded, your pictures are taken, your posters are ready. Who are you kidding, man? You knew there was an election coming, so stop fucking around.
I'm pretty sure Trudeau skimmed a few points off the top of that 620 million.
No. He has nothing to do with that. He has nothing to do with that. It's completely independent. It goes to elections. It goes to Elections Canada, and they organize themselves. Problem is that they were short-staffed.
A lot of people didn't vote because they waited for so long.
A lot of people did not vote. There was huge lineups. People are blaming Elections Canada for badly organizing this elections. Election Canada came out already saying, guys, listen, we were very clear. We went to see the parliamentarians and we told them that we believe because of COVID, we should do the elections on a weekend because there are more centers that are open. Schools are closed, so we can take advantage of more facilities. They refused. They put it on a Monday. I mean, there's very limited things that we could do. And given given the context of the pandemic, that's what it was, right? I mean, they were expecting.
Your riding, where you live, is it a Liberal riding?
Yeah.
Like the incumbent destroyed it.
Yeah. She normally, it's Alexandra Mendez. She usually wins with about 50% of the vote.
Because I got into a huge argument with my dad. He's like, "You're not going to go vote." I'm like, because we have a Liberal candidate. What's his name? Housefather.
Oh yeah,
Anthony Housefather. I'm like, why? He goes, because you don't know, your vote can make a difference. I go, have you noticed that Anthony Housefather has barely any signs up? He's not even campaigning at all. Like, he's not bothering. He's like, yeah. I go, because he knows. Yeah. Meanwhile, Frank Cavallaro and the other people in the riding, they're all like, they're setting up booths and they're doing stuff and interviews. Housefather, nowhere to be seen because he knew. Yeah. I go to my dad, I go, look, if Housefather wins by 2 votes, like my wife and I, you can yell at me. How anyone would agree to go into that riding for another party and not know they're going to get decimated.
Yeah, but you know that. I mean, you need candidates everywhere.
But like, this was a massive fucking...
Yeah, but it's not only there. Saint Laurent's the same thing.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, that's the point. Like, what's the point of me voting? Like, I know the outcome.
Yeah.
Right? And then people give me the argument, like, what if everyone thought like you? I'm like, nobody thinks like me in this riding. That's the problem.
Well, see, look, here's the difference between federal and provincial. I'm not so sure if this applies federally as well. I think it doesn't. So provincially, when the PQ was in place, they changed completely how parties are funded, right? So before it was all private, through private funds. They reduced the minimum down to $100 per year. And in addition to that, because they knew that was going to be widely insufficient to fund the parties, the parties in Quebec are funded publicly. So people don't know that, but your tax dollars are paying for parties that you may not be supporting. And that was made specifically because, or else, I mean, they wouldn't have money. So what happens now, and this is the difference between federal and provincial, and why, at least at the provincial level, it's important to vote, because the way that the funds are distributed, it's according to the percentage of the vote that the parties get. So let's say, for example, I don't know, the party gets 2 million votes.
The federal system is not like
it's
this.
Not like that. No. It's not like that. But that's what I'm saying. Federally, you may think, I'm not making a difference. But provincially, if you don't vote...
No, provincial elections, I vote.
You know what I mean? It's one less vote from a party that could potentially lose whatever amount of money.
I mean, I said this, I think, last episode. I don't remember exactly when. But like municipal, I've never really bothered, because my understanding of the system is it doesn't really matter who's in charge. They're all going to fucking do the same thing. Federal, I voted in the past. I don't always vote. Like this time I didn't. But provincial elections, I've never missed one. It's the only time where I'm like, I need to vote.
It's because it's the level of government that affects you the most, right?
I feel it. No, that's not true. The municipal government affects me the most. Spiro's coming in to say hello to everyone.
Yeah.
But he's now left. No, I don't. No, Pantelis has it. Doesn't understand how lives work. It's so cute. It's a man from another time. I love it. Just smashing away on keyboards. What was I saying?
Yeah, municipal.
Oh, yeah. Municipal probably affects me the most. But I really, honest to God, believe it doesn't matter who's in charge. The functionaries run the city.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel.
Yeah, we have a system where the public service is much stronger than the actual elected
officials.
Just like
there's the public service, and then there's just committee on top of committee on top of committee.
I think I told you this before.
So many checks and balances.
When Couillard won in 2014, he wanted to kind of reevaluate the whole, public service and the expense.
Provincially,
obviously.
Okay, yeah.
And the expense that it represents to the state. It took, I think, close to a year for them to rally the numbers to look into. We're talking about public, para-public, like everything, right? That has to do with, and it was Martin Coiture. I remember the minister responsible for that, and he came out with a number, I think, over 800,000 people working in a public sector.
It's crazy.
It's ridiculous, dude. It's almost 1% of the population.
As a former member of this 1%, so you too.
Yeah. Actually, I wasn't part of the public.
Technically, no. You worked for the party.
Paid me, so it's public funds.
I remember where the invoice came from. Where I invoiced. Not you guys.
It's the National Assembly.
It was the National Assembly. Yeah. But it's crazy. Like, I remember. So I went to the CLSC where I used to work maybe a month ago to have my daughter vaccinated for her last childhood vaccine run, whatever, the 18 months. And it was so different because of COVID, right? And the system now is like there's a number system, so you take a number. Yeah. It's pretty efficient. There's like one or two people working in the front for distancing, I think at the reception, where there used to be like 6 of us. And like the clinic has specific slots where you can come and see a doctor. And I was like, hang on a second. They literally they did the lean thing, right? They just leaned down this one small section of the CLSC, right? It's like, why didn't we always do this?
Yeah.
Like there was really no need for the chaos. Yeah. This makes more sense. And it's not like they're using some kind of new technology that we didn't have. We had it. Honestly, if we're not all sick by the end of this episode. the level of irresponsibility, though, that's what upsets me. What do you mean? Nothing.
You just sneeze right in your hand and then you're going to grab everything around here.
I'm gonna go put Purell, bro.
Fucking bathe in it.
He's not all right. Like I'm concerned. Are you concerned?
Look, I'm not concerned because I know what allergies look like, and I'm convinced
they really do feel like allergies. Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, the system, and they made the change, and they could have done it.
Think about it. 1%. That 1% before, like of that 1%, I would guess that 30% of that 1% wasn't really doing anything necessary.
Yeah, that's possible.
I had my job at one point, George. My job. It's mind-blowing. They digitized the archives, okay? And they create these little barcode stickers.
Yeah.
And this was during your time. And I think he was the sub-minister of health at one point, right?
He was the chair of the committee.
Yeah. So he had something to do with it. I don't know what you're showing.
No, bro.
Yeah, schnauts everywhere. So I'm sure you guys had something to do with this beautiful system. We had to, instead of just printing out the files from the beginning with the barcodes on them, to give them to the doctor. The doctor would fill out the paperwork, and then it would go into a pile. That pile would come to my office where I was listening to Joe Rogan all day, and I would put in the number,
Print the label,
stick it on, put it in another pile so someone could then scan the whole document.
Oh my God.
That was my job. For 6 months, that's what I did. Okay? It was soul crushing because I knew it was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I had asked, I go, why don't we just do the notes in the computer? Oh no, they just want to write. I was like, yeah, but this is costing money. They're like, shut up, you're getting paid. I was like, all right. I mean, it's not my job to question this, right, at this level. But just the level of just wasted personnel and, like, therefore wasted money. Yeah, 1% of the population. You're right. It doesn't make sense. When people make fun of countries in Europe for having this massive, especially like Greece, for example, massive Byzantine, like, civil sector, Quebec's not much further back.
Behind.
No, we're not far behind.
Similar populations too, mind you. But just to go back, I mean, that whole reevaluation came like in 2014 when we did it. It came after, I believe it was around 2000
It doesn't matter.
Right
10? After.
No, in 2000, I'm trying to remember the year, 2010 or 11. It was Premier Charest at that time that passed the regulation in order to replace the people that were retiring from the public service.
It's disgusting.
So there was a regulation passed that for every person in the public service that retired,
they get a watch.
Sorry.
Oh, because I remember they used to do that.
I think for every 2 or 3 that were retiring, they would be replaced by 1. So already from back then, they were trying to reduce the public service, and we reached, fast forward to 2014.
But what are
we were still at 800,000.
What are all those gay guys going to do now?
I don't know.
Like, what are they going to do? They're old. They're not young. They can't just, like, switch jobs.
Yeah. They have a
What are they gonna do?
They have a nice pension fund. They'll enjoy it.
I have a pension fund from the government. I don't know where it is. Because I quit years ago.
Yeah, you're going to get it when you retire.
No, but, like, where is this fund? Can I transfer it? Can I do something? I have no idea where it is.
No, it's
not
there.
a lot of money. Like, I was there
Whatever
for 7 years or 6 years. Wow, I was there a long time.
Yeah. All right, you're gonna,
It's a different life, man. Fonctionnaire Phil.
You could find it. I'm sure if you go to the Régie des Rentes,
I'm sure I could. I just don't know, like, where it was.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I worked for the government, I get all these letters from all these alphabet companies. Like CSST, CNST, CSN. It's all fucking abbreviations.
Just unions everywhere.
The
man.
union.
It's just crazy.
I remember the union used to call us and be like, don't do this. I'm like, why not? Like, it's my job. They're like, no, it's not in your job description. I'm like, I have a job description. Like, I had no idea. And I'm like, guys, it's really not a big deal. Like, it takes me 10 seconds. It's not like I'm in danger. I'm not on a factory floor. Yeah. And they're like, 10 minutes later, the union rep shows up. It's like, what are you doing? I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, relax.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Controlling. Anyways, so now back to Trudeau. So minority government, nothing's really changed. The question now remains on what is going to happen. So is Trudeau going to stay on or resign? Is O'Toole going to stay on or resign? Is Jagmeet Singh going to stay on or resign?
Wait, why would Trudeau resign? He won the election.
Technically, the message that is going to come from his office is we won, right? We were given a mandate. And it's funny when we're talking about mandate because I don't know if you saw his post-election speech there. He's like,
let's end this pandemic together.
Friends, Canadians gave us a clear mandate. I'm thinking, what clear mandate, man? Where's the clear mandate? You got exactly what you had plus 2 or 3 seats because we still don't know how it's gonna end up. So no, it's not a clear mandate. So I'm sure that behind
it couldn't be more unclear.
Yeah,
He actually lost people in popular vote.
The last election too in 2019, he lost the popular vote. It was around the same percentage. So now, and here's the interesting thing because I was reading a lot of stuff on that. There was an article in La Presse from Joël Denis Bellavance. He brings out a relax, dude. It's a fucking journalist.
Fuck La Presse.
No, he doesn't know the guy. He knows La Presse.
So it's interesting because in one of the articles that he wrote, he says that there has never been in the history of Canada any prime minister that has sought a 4th mandate after 2 that has sought a 4th mandate after 2 consecutive minority governments.
Never.
Monday. It's never happened, apparently. I just found that it's an interesting statistic, which may indicate a little bit what's going to happen. For sure, there are people in the Liberal caucus right now that are going to start whispering, do we need a new leader? We lost. We got less votes than 2015 and much less than 2019.
Who would replace Trudeau? The only thing carrying...
Yeah.
Here's the sad truth. The only thing carrying the Liberal Party
It's Justin Trudeau.
is Teflon Justin Trudeau. The fact that for some reason...
He is fucking Teflon, that bastard.
He is. For some reason, the people who love him really love him.
Yeah,
Internationally,
but look,
he's seen as like some kind of...
Yeah, but look, I mean,
don't know what.
we're just.
But
getting,
who's going to replace him? No,
we're-
seriously.
Yeah, we're just getting one side of the story because we're so exposed to Justin, and we know people that love him, and we know our community, and the surroundings where we live, and people go crazy for him every time they see him.
I'm
But
not basing my information, my opinion that I just gave is not based on that at all.
Yeah.
Because I really don't know a single human being personally that likes Justin Trudeau.
I do. I know a lot of them, and I understand, and I
basing it
agree
off
with you
of-
that he revived the Liberal Party. He did something that nobody else was probably able to do.
There, I'll give him that.
The-
not on purpose. He didn't realize
But
he did it.
I
but
can
he did it.
guarantee you that there are caucus members that are from Western provinces that are probably not so favorable to keeping him there. Maybe even in Quebec. And I've said this many times, the worst enemies in politics are in your own caucus. They're not across the floor.
Oh, of course.
So there are names already circulating of Chrystia Freeland, who's the Minister of Finance. There's François-Philippe Champagne, who's the Minister of Innovation. There's a lot of people now that are suggesting Mark Carney, the former director of the Bank of Canada, who he brought back from London to work with Chrystia Freeland in finance. So there's going to be a little bit of,
None of them have any star power, and that's all that matters now in our
Mark
day and
Carney,
age.
Mark Carney has a great international
It's a stupid
profile.
name.
He's known.
It's a stupid name. Mark Carney.
Who cares about the
Is
name?
his name Harney, Tarney, Carney? What is it?
What's his name?
We've had worse names.
Like
but,
who?
I don't know, man.
Like who? Name one bad name.
I don't know. Diefenbaker.
That's a fucking cool name, bro.
I don't know. If it's
Have you ever been to the Diefenbunker?
Mark Carney.
Have you ever been to the Diefenbunker?
No.
It's fucking cool. It's right outside of Ottawa. It was a bunker that Diefenbaker
Yeah.
had built, and it's like a museum now. And it looks like you're in a Bond movie. It's really cool. It's underground.
What's wrong with this name?
Diefenbaker.
Well, I'm saying in terms of strange names, I mean.
Mark Carney?
Yeah,
Carney.
Carney.
Carney. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I don't know.
Prime
Ask-
Minister Carney. It just sounds stupid. I don't like it.
I don't know.
Corny.
I'm trying to be logical in the sense of I'm trying to see the
just saying-
situation
This is
the
why
way
our-
most
this is-
people
I'm
see
just
it.
telling
This is why our
The
country
woke,
is going to
uneducated
shit.
masses.
Look, I'm just telling you in terms of high profile individuals within the party that could very easily take over, there are some.
I mean, look, the
There are
Conservatives
some.
had O'Leary at one point that was. I know, I don't like him either.
No.
You want a great Kevin O'Leary story?
Yeah.
So I'm at a film festival. I'm in a film premiere, and I'm waiting in line. I'm with a friend, and I feel this weird, like someone rubbing my shoulder,
Yeah.
like really weird. I turn, and he goes, "Excuse me," and I was like, "This guy looks familiar." And I look him up and down. He's like, "Nice, right?" He was wearing. It was so weird.
Checking him out.
I looked him up, and he was wearing an all-white three-piece tuxedo. No, sorry, not tuxedo. Like a three-piece suit, all white shirt, white bow tie, white shoes, white belt, and a red carnation.
Okay.
And I looked at him and I was like, "What the fuck are you wearing?" And he's like, "You obviously don't recognize me." I'm like, "Oh no, I know who you are. What the fuck are you wearing?" And someone goes, "Move. He wants to pass." I'm like, "It's a lineup, guys. I'm in line. He's behind me." And someone goes, "You know how rich he is?" I'm like, "Oh." I go, "Sure, I'll move. Can I have $100,000?" And he's like, and he did the weirdest laugh. And I've heard him laugh on TV. Never like, he went, "Aha, aha, aha." And then he just walked by me and I'm pissing my pants. And someone goes, "Who the fuck was that?" I was like, "I think that was Kevin O'Leary." They're like, "Why the fuck was he in a white suit?" And it wasn't even a prestigious premiere. Yeah. It was for, what was the movie? It was Life After Beth. Life After Beth. It was a zombie movie.
Yeah, never seen it.
Like, I know the guy likes the art, so like respect for that. I have no issue with Kevin O'Leary, honestly. I really don't. He was so extra. And he was like a super villain. It was amazing.
Oh, God.
Where do you even get an all white suit?
You can find.
Yeah?
If you're Kevin
Poseidon,
O'Leary.
you must know. Don't say Morse.
Suit shop.
Suit shop.
Suit
Okay,
shop.
there you go.
Yeah, there you go. So what's going to happen with Trudeau? Is he going to stay
Why
on?
did I tell that story?
Is he not going to stay on?
Trudeau is going to stay on either as beardless Trudeau or Daddy Trudeau.
Look,
One or the other.
Look, there's two schools of thought in this. Okay, one is you failed at your mission in which case it's a very fragile argument because he did win. You know, I mean,
Technically, and he won his riding.
Yeah,
super
so
duper.
it's a victory. Whether it's a minority or majority, it's a victory. Even though he won on a majority, he got a minority. It's exactly what you had. I would find it difficult to argue how that is a victory, but whatever. It's a victory. So
He did upset a lot of people during the campaign, though. I noticed that.
yeah, internally.
Internally and externally.
Yeah.
Like even his
Forget
own.
about externally, but internally, I know a lot of liberals that are frustrated. There's a lot of staffers that are frustrated, and I'm assuming that if the staffers are frustrated, then their bosses.
Gun to your head, who would you say would be the next logic? If you had the choice within the party, people who are there right now, who would you choose to be his successor?
I think I would go with Mark Carney.
Mark Carney, yeah?
He comes from the outside. He's not involved with anything that has happened thus far, like Chrystia Freeland or François-Philippe Champagne. They were involved in this mess. Like, if they want to turn the page and say, listen, we need to redirect this party, let's bring someone from the outside that has a credibility, that has international profile, that knows what he's talking about, that understands finances. They could revamp the party as the saviors of our economy, and we're bringing in, like, they could easily...
The economy they destroyed?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
You understand?
But then they could play the card that Justin did this. We're fixing it.
Yeah, I mean,
I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard at my Kevin O'Leary story. My cheeks hurt.
So there's two schools of thought. One is it's a minority government. You can't resign now because if you resign now,
glad is hot enough. That's what it says.
So you can't resign because if you resign, you're going to put the party in trouble. We won't have enough time to.
I'm listening.
To do another leadership campaign. Well, there is time to do a leadership campaign, but there's not enough time for the new leader to rally the troops before the next election, depending on how fast this whole process can go through, right? Chances are that you're probably going to lose the next one.
Or get another minority and break new records.
Yeah. So that's one.
I'll be
and
honest
the other
with you,
one
I don't think he's going to step down. I think he's going to spit. Again, you're forgetting who we're dealing with. This is Justin Trudeau. Yeah. Literally can do anything.
Yeah.
Because he's Justin Trudeau. He even played the Québécois card a few weeks ago, which, I mean, if Trudeau's as Québécois as I am, like, let's be serious. I'm more Québécois than Trudeau.
Well, I mean,
he's like a quarter Québécois, and he lived here for like 5 minutes.
Not really. I mean, the guy's from here. He's born here.
He's born in Ottawa?
He was born on Sussex Drive. You're right.
Yeah. He was born in Ottawa. He lived in Montreal for a little bit. In Westmount, on the mountain overlooking the rest of us peasants, where there are no French people. Yeah. He's like... I think most of his paternal grandparents are Scottish, except for the one that gave them the Trudeau name.
Right.
So, like, how is he Québécois? Yeah. His French is as good as mine.
Yeah.
Mine's a little bit more ethnic. His is a little bit more Ottawa-esque, like Gatineau French.
Look, I mean, we can't sit here.
Like, he can literally say anything.
We can't sit here and speculate on what's going to happen.
I mean, what do you mean? That's all we do. Literally, that's what the morning show is. We sit here, we state a few facts, and we speculate wildly.
But see, look. So here's what I think. I think that maybe there's going to be pressure, and between having to choose from stepping down because you lost a campaign or leaving by convincing people that you're leaving a legacy, I would honestly opt to do that, to say, look, I'm leaving.
What legacy is he leaving? He's fucking off in the middle of a crisis.
Well, this is what we're coming down to. He has a lot of huge files waiting on his desk that I don't think he could ever resolve within 18 months. But one that he can is the daycare program from coast to coast, which is he's only left with about 3 provinces, I think, to negotiate a deal
that's going to be the legacy of Justin Trudeau?
Man, I implemented the daycare service across Canada. You know what I mean? Is it the biggest thing you want to go out with? It's one thing.
I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah, of course.
It is.
So maybe there's that. I don't know.
I don't think people in other provinces realize how big of a deal it is.
It's huge. It's huge for them.
We have it, right?
Yeah,
so
they know, which is why it's gone really quickly. He's only left, I think, with Ontario, Alberta, and BC, and New Brunswick. So I think these are the only 3 provinces left.
New Brunswick, you can wrap it up in an afternoon, whatever.
Yeah,
Ontario is a bigger conversation.
Alberta, it's not that they won't want it. It's the ego of having Ottawa dictate what we want and what we don't want. But in any case, Alberta's going to have their other set of problems in the next coming months. So that's
what kind of problems?
They're calling. Well, first of all, the big problem is that 2-3 days before the election, Jason Kenney came out and backtracked completely, a whole 180 degrees on the management of the pandemic. He apologized for taking the wrong steps in managing this huge national health crisis. global health crisis. He requested the help of the government after refusing everything that the government was telling him to do. Now he's asking for the army to come in and help. And in a month from now, they're going into a referendum to vote on whether or not the transfer payments, the equalization payments, should exist in the Constitution. Not that Alberta has any room to remove it. I mean, that's all federal jurisdiction. But look, if they vote overwhelmingly in favor of removing it, then that's a message that they can send to Ottawa,
right,
which again could backfire based on everything that they're seeing now. I mean, look, maybe the equalization payments is what we want. Look what's going on. Maybe we do need the help from Ottawa, even though Alberta doesn't really get that many equalization payments. But anyway,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's dealing with
That's suspicious though.
what,
No,
that they're not getting payments. No,
They don't have a provincial sales tax.
Yeah.
That plays into
No,
it.
that he backtracked on the COVID stuff. Now they're getting.
Well, it's not suspicious, man. I mean, the
They're
guy
having a massive outbreak. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
And they don't know why or
all of his hospitals are over capacity. They've stopped regular stuff like operations. Like everything has stopped. Everything is just
they're
full
where we were
management
during the middle of near the end of the first wave.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, and I really have no explanation. Like I really don't know. I haven't read any data that explains to me what the fuck happened in Alberta.
Yeah, so
I know what you're getting at. Suspicious. The Fed sent them COVID, but I don't know. Like
No, not the Fed sent them COVID. I'm just saying maybe some details are a little.
I mean, no matter
fugazi.
how you look at any situation, you can make it suspicious. Like you
Yeah,
can,
that's
right?
true.
But this, more than anything, it sucks for the people in Alberta.
of course. So, anyways, they're dealing
And it
with
really sucks because I always mix them up with the people in Manitoba. Like I forget which one's which.
Which is which?
And Saskatchewan.
What's this? What?
Saskatchewan.
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 So, anyways, so that's it for Justin. Now, with respect to the Conservatives, that's a whole other hot potato, because one, you gained absolutely nothing.
Hot potato.
Well, yeah, because the only argument that O'Toole is going to have, again, is the exact same argument that Scheer had before him in 2019, where you're going to have to convince your caucus members, and especially the members of the party, that you got something additional. So there's an advantage.
He won his riding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So what do you use? Scheer had nothing because he had lost seats. So the only thing that he had was the fact that, well, we won the popular vote. Look, we got more votes. We did well. Next time around, we will beat them. Maybe he was right. I don't know. They changed leader. That leader did absolutely nothing. But again, he also won the popular vote. So the only thing he has now is we won the popular vote. And that's what he said in his losing speech. After the elections, he's like, we've.
Can you explain to me how somebody can lose the election even though more people voted? For
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how many people vote, because you got to remember that ridings are different sizes, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So if a riding with 10,000 people, elects a liberal candidate, right? But a riding with 1 million people elects a conservative candidate, but in the end, the liberals had more ridings that they won, smaller ridings, and the conservatives won a bunch of larger ridings, then more people voted for the conservative candidates than for the liberals, on like if you're individually counting votes.
Yeah.
But that's not how we choose the party.
His face looks like you
Yeah,
just
I
spoke
I
Chinese.
thought,
No,
I,
I
I
get
thought
it.
I was
No,
trying
no.
to be as clear as I
No,
could.
I
Look,
understand
it's the
that.
electoral system we have. There's one
That's why I
person
get
that
mad.
gets elected
It's like in
per.
the States.
not exact- it's similar,
Yeah,
it's similar.
yeah, it's similar because they also have.
You're
popular vote over
electing a
there.
candidate. The party with the most candidates wins.
If all ridings across Canada had the exact same amount of people,
Then the popular vote and the results would be almost identical.
It would be identical, exactly.
Almost.
Okay, so
Yeah.
and per like section that counts as a seat basically.
Exactly.
Okay, I get it now.
No, because
Like per,
each riding.
per
Riding,
district,
riding,
yeah,
riding.
Yeah.
Per
Every
riding.
riding has one seat, but
There
the
you
ridings
go.
are different in size. There's some ridings
Yeah.
that have more people and other riding have less.
Yeah.
So the Liberals may have gotten smaller ones because they control the big metropolitan areas. Montreal,
Like if you win 10
Toronto, you know what I mean?
Think
But-
about it, George. The easy way to explain it to him.
But I
If
got
you
it.
win 10 ridings with a total population of 100,000, and then your opposition wins 5 ridings with the same total number, you win with the.
I know, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So O'Toole's argument now is that we won the popular vote, but I'm hearing from people behind the scenes that even during the campaign, there was a team organizing for Pierre Poilievre to follow.
If this guy would run, I think he'd bamboozle everyone.
Look, I'm hearing that there's already an organization behind him. I also know that the internal polls of their party during the campaign So, I mean, we were looking at national polls, you know, Ecos, Léger, blah, 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 and all those and all those polling companies. Pollsters. But the parties themselves, internally, during the campaign, they hire companies to run these things, to run models, to run numbers, and we did that. You know, we do that every campaign. So the internal polls that the Conservatives had were also showing them losing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So a lot of the higher ranked people in the party, they were expecting to lose, which doesn't surprise me that Pierre Poilievre already had a team organizing for him for the after the post campaign.
So that means he's smart. He knew they were gonna lose this one no matter what.
I mean, no one ever knows.
Nobody knows, but you kind of I mean, halfway,
if you're in the game, you kind of know. You know,
you don't know. You never know until the end. But if you're at 1 or 2 weeks to the election and the polls are showing that so we're not really going anywhere, and look at the hall he was at. It was empty. It was sad. You know what I mean?
Well, that could have been because of COVID.
Well, no, it was COVID. They had booked it accordingly, and they knew that, okay, we'll fit a capacity of X amount of people.
Nobody showed up.
There was nothing. It was like a fraction of that. You know what I mean? So, in any case.
That's cringy.
So he's going to have a whole other challenge. And again, the same school of thought applies to the Conservatives. Is it smart to switch leaders in a minority government when we know that an election can ensue within 18 months? We're going to be back in that same cycle. Right? Really? Where it's like we can't always be looking for new candidates because we're always kind of renewing. Nobody gets a chance to get to know you, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And that was Scheer's argument back in 2019. And specifically, he had given back then, if you guys remember, the example of Harper when he lost to Paul Martin. And I think it was in 2000.
Paul Martin existed.
Yeah, in 2004 was it? Whatever it was. It was a minority government, and everyone wanted Harper out. And the argument he used was, listen, we're close. We can't switch now. It's a minority government. People got to know me. They're going to get to know me a little bit better, and we're going to win the next one. That's exactly what happened. And that was Scheer's argument in 2019. They obviously ignored it. They switched him. They got a new leader. They lost. So this leader now is using that same argument. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I
think they need to change their leader right now, unfortunately.
If there's risks that are associated to that. And I know that the caucus from Quebec supports Erin O'Toole very much because he brought the party much more to the center than it was before, right? So
where's Poilievre on this?
I think he's more center right. He's more on that side. He's much more of a traditional conservative. So we'll see what happens. This is all going to develop within the next month. We'll see how that unfolds.
But for the time being, nothing changes, basically.
Nothing changes. The mysterious thing to me is how Jagmeet Singh keeps running around as if he won. In 2019...
It's kind of impressive.
Yeah. Like in 2019, he lost. Like they went from 40-something seats down to 20, 23, that they had before this election. And the guy came out dancing. I don't know if you guys remember that. After the election,
he was racist to say,
he was dancing and jumping. I was like, dude, you lost half of your seats. What are you doing? And people were supportive of him.
I don't think the NDP ever wants to govern.
Well, because
they want to be in opposition. That's their job.
They're playing the balance of power card. They're like, you know what? This is what we have. But in all this situation, and since Monday, I couldn't help but feel very sad about Tom Mulcair. Tom Mulcair, who followed Jack Layton. I'll tell you why. Jack Layton hit historical high numbers, right, with the NDP. Like he brought him in 50 some seats. He made it to opposition, and then when he passed away, Tom Mulcair took over. The expectations, the bar was set high. Tom Mulcair gets 40-something, which is still very high for the NDP. But because they were used to having in the 50s, they attacked the guy. They're like, listen, you lost. Oh my God, 10 seats, get out. They kicked him out. They voted him out. So the guy left. They got a new leader. Now they're down to 25, and they're thinking, shit.
Wait, there's only been Jagmeet since Mulcair left?
Yeah.
I remember the leadership race.
Yeah.
I was still involved with the NDP at that time.
Yeah,
I had a friend who was running.
Yeah.
And I had gone to a bunch of the events, and I've met Tom Mulcair many times when I was in the Greek community, right? He was always around. It's his riding, right?
Yeah.
Or it was. Even when I was a liberal, I think he was in that riding.
No, he was in Shamedy.
He was in Shamedy?
Yeah, so he worked a lot with the Greek community.
Yeah, but I mean, he was tight. Yeah. He was close to the community. But he was an interesting man to be around because he was volatile. Like he would go off on people, and I was like, Jesus Christ, like really go off on people.
Yeah, no filter, zero.
I was like, I kind of respect that to some extent, but at the same time, like you're crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what hurt him in the NDP, because at the Liberals, he could pull that shit. They were the Liberals. When he went to the NDP,
not really, because when Charest came in, he kicked him out. He threw him out of Shamedy. He just couldn't handle him.
You know you're really acting up if you get thrown out of Shamedy.
Hey, I need the riding, buddy. Take care.
So anyways, it's like me when I chased down a skateboarder and tried to crack him.
Sure.
Week.
It's just like that. It's exactly like that. How many of those have you had?
13.
Jesus.
Bro, you know there's
You can't
medicine.
have that
in
many of those. You're gonna.
It's not candies that you can just pop in your mouth.
And they give you the runs.
Not only that, they're gonna get you fucking drowsy, dude. You're gonna pass out.
No, those don't make you drowsy. No.
Okay.
No, they're like
George, we're talking about.
they're like halls.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But
so
I
interesting-
like Mulcair, and I like him much better now that he's like a guy on TV.
Commentator.
I like him as a commentator a lot.
But he's
And he
very biased. He's very biased.
Of course,
the
he's very
fucker.
biased,
Yeah,
but he also just looks less stressed. I feel like he was too stressed before.
Did you see him now? I don't know if you saw that
I
at
saw
all.
him yesterday on TV.
He has a ponytail.
No?
Yeah, dude.
Does he?
I swear to God.
Yo, I like him way more now.
He looks so weird, man. He looks no, but it's like he's perfect.
He does not have
I
a
swear to
ponytail.
God, he has long hair. At some point,
I'm
I'm
looking
turning
it up.
and I can see his hair just flopping in the back.
Maybe he needs a haircut, but he's scared about COVID.
No, but it's weird
It
because
doesn't advise on a maximum number of American property.
You reading?
because it's weird because he looks like perfectly coiffed as if he doesn't have long hair.
Hold on. I'm trying to find it, but I keep getting fucking notifications.
Yeah, I'll
Stupid new iOS 15.
Just
with their
put
fat
the
notifications.
Tom Mulcair mullet or long hair or whatever. I don't know what it is.
Thomas
Wow, it's
Mulcair.
one of the first searches that pop up.
Oh yeah,
Really?
He doesn't have long hair.
he does, guys. He does. I'm convinced.
He's got like a little quit happening in the
What is
back.
that? No, it was like
What
a
is
whole
quit?
thing, man. It was like
No,
a ponytail.
No. Hold on.
I'm
I'm going to find it. No, he has a regular hair.
It looks like it, which was shocking to me because I was watching the elections on TVA LCN.
I was watching him yesterday. He was on CTV at one point. I just had it on.
And
like
he
in
didn't
the
turn. You
afternoon.
didn't see anything flipping in
He
the
looked
back.
like the same. Honestly, he looks like a vampire. He hasn't aged a day in 10
No,
years.
yeah.
He went great 15 years ago with Salt and Pepper, and he stayed there.
And he stayed
I think
there.
I genuinely like. I don't want people to think I don't like Tom Mulcair. I genuinely like him. I just thought he was a volatile character, but I think he was under too much stress. I feel like he's
the
much
leader
more
of a
mellow
party,
now.
right? So yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
So,
like-
so back to Tom Mulcair. I feel very bad for him because he's thinking now, you stupid idiots. We had 44. You know what I mean? And you threw me out.
But
And-
even during the leadership race for the NDP, there was no one else really that could have done the job. Not that Jagmeet can.
yeah.
I think he was a terrible decision.
Jagmeet is very charismatic. He has that playing for him, right? Everybody just likes him. They want to be his friend. They
I don't
wanna
need
hurt
a
his
friend. I
feelings.
need someone who can run the party.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know this, but the other day I watched an interview he did where he talked about being sexually assaulted.
Really?
Yeah, it was in his
Fuck, I didn't know
memoir.
that. Okay.
He just mentioned it briefly, and I was like,
He
"Wait,
got
what do you mean?"
sexually assaulted?
Apparently, he was raped as a child, a young
Okay.
child.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
And I looked into it, and I hate that I'm about to do this because the idea of like pretending like blaming the victim or any of that stuff, but like, c'est louche. The whole story is sketch. He doesn't name the guy. Apparently, he's dead. No one else can confirm it. There's no details. There's no way to look into it. The RCMP did an investigation. They couldn't find anything about this guy, even pertaining to the fact that he may have done this more than once. Like, maybe it happened. I don't know. But the fact that he came out at the tail end of the Me Too movement with this unconfirmable story and this demagoguery, like I'm like you, this victim thing. I don't know. It gives me a bad feeling in my gut. Like,
Right.
would he lie about something
I
like
can't
that?
find anything.
Would anyone lie about that?
I don't know, man.
I don't know,
You would have
man.
to be really sick to do something like
You
that.
would you would have to be fucking sick to lie about something
Yeah.
like that. And I don't know the guy personally. Maybe
Yeah.
he's a good dude. I don't know, but it's just something. You ever hear a story and you're like, I don't know. Like, I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm really not. It's just something about it feels suspicious.
Off, yeah.
And I
I
looked
can't
online.
find anything.
A bunch of people tried to look into it, and nothing came of it.
Right.
And then he just stopped mentioning it completely. It never came up again. So like,
I've never even heard of it. Yeah.
as Pantelis would say, it's suspicious.
Yeah.
Suspicious. It's a little suspicious. I don't know.
So
I don't
let's leave that campaign behind there. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens in the following months. Obviously, Trudeau has a lot of work right now ahead of him. I mean, we're talking about balancing our books. Finally, I don't know if we're ever going to look into.
He's not saying they're going to balance themselves.
He's never said it since 2015. He hasn't said anything because he realized that he was wrong. But at some point, we're going to have to look at some sort of policy to stimulate our economy again. The post-pandemic is obviously something that he's gonna have to keep working on, and I have a feeling that he's gonna push as much as possible to get this daycare thing done. Now, is it because he wants that to sign off with and say, "All right, guys, I've done everything I could. Take care"?
I don't see that happening. I see Trudeau sticking around. You know, ever had a friend who's not really a friend? So someone who thinks you're really close, but you're like, I barely know this guy. Like, why is he always with us? And he won't leave. Mm-hmm. You ever had one of those friends? Like, that's how Trudeau is. Like, he's overstayed his welcome at the party. Nobody invited him. And he's just going to hang out. He's like, guys, what's up? Justin's here. And they're like, oh, fuck, Justin's here.
What else am I going to do?
You know what I mean, though?
I think Justin probably realized a long time ago that he can make a shitload of money when he leaves politics.
I think you're wrong. I think Justin realized that while he's in politics, he can also make a shitload of money, which he has been doing through his mother's bank accounts. Maybe. Most likely.
No, but I guarantee you guys that once this guy's done from politics,
he's going to write a book.
It's going to rain fucking cash. Podcast, he's going to... Oh, yeah. Anyway.
A Darker Shade of Black, a podcast by Justin Trudeau. So Woke by Justin Trudeau, the book, a memoir.
What's it called? So moving on. Huge announcement that came out this week. This is a deal that the government of Quebec has been trying to work on since, I believe, 2017. It was the Liberals. It was towards the end of their mandate about scoring a deal to sell renewable energy to the state of New York.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
It's been years in the process. Finally, it was announced this week. So Hydro-Quebec won the bid to sell hydroelectricity to New York. It's huge. It's the equivalent from the article that I'm reading.
Hold on, don't they already sell hydroelectricity to New York?
No,
not really.
No, I think they.
I know in
Vermont.
The event of emergencies, we sell some to Vermont. We can transfer, like the lines exist, and for Vermont, we do sell power to Vermont. That I know.
Yeah.
But New York, no.
This was huge. Like this, apparently, from what I'm reading, is the equivalent of taking 44% of the cars off the streets of New York. New York City. Like it's
what? How does one? Oh, for generating.
It would reduce the carbon emissions. Like it's the equivalent of that. So it's huge. We're talking about a plan that will go into.
What does it mean for me?
It means more money to the state of Quebec.
And what does that mean for me? Will my taxes be reduced?
You're a shareholder. Hydro-Quebec belongs to you. 70% of Hydro-Quebec belongs to the government. That's
sure. Okay, but do I get dividends?
You don't get dividends. You get the cheapest rates probably in the world. Do you know what it costs to have electricity elsewhere?
True, that's true.
No, we're very lucky, guys. Like,
I mean, I live in a 5.5 right now, and I think for like 2 months with the ACs blasting in the summer is like $100.
I don't know how it happened. I don't know how we got like some credit.
Actually, they're currently selling it in the tri-state area.
Maybe
I think they're selling to Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut.
None of those are New York.
New York.
Oh,
Maine. Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Tri-state. You just named 6 states.
It stops at New Jersey.
Anyways, regardless, this is a new deal.
So this is gonna go into. It's gonna be operational as of 2025, and I believe it's for 25 years. If
the contract.
I can't remember.
Until China owns Quebec, and then they'll do it.
25 years, and it's gonna yield more than $20 billion for Quebec. It's a huge deal. It's a great project, and again, it puts Quebec on the map. I mean, as a leader in this technology.
We have so much fucking water.
We've been running on surpluses for I don't know how many years now. Quebec has been looking for partnerships so they can start.
What about the rest of Canada? Like, what are deals like? What do they look like with the rest of the other provinces?
I don't know.
We must supply power to the rest of
for sure
to our neighbors. I mean, Ontario has the capacity to do what we do, right? Not the same capacity, but they have the potential to do it for themselves.
But the thing is, in Ontario, I'm not so sure it's regulated like it is here. There's private companies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they're all subcontracted from what's it called, Ontario Hydro or whatever it's called there.
Ontario Hydro, is that what it's called? I think it's Ontario Hydro.
Something
I'm
like
not
that,
sure.
whatever it is. But they're. I think they're subcontracted.
Everything is
It's not
state-run here,
100%. But look, when it comes to Hydro Quebec, I'm not so sure I disagree with it, man.
I'm not saying.
it's,
I know.
you
I wasn't making. I was just making an observation.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a ugh.
Yeah.
I'm just saying certain things. I
They
understand.
found a
the
natural
state runs it.
resource that they could profit from. They regulated on it. They.
I just think it's a bit silly that we have this massive revenue generation, pun intended, because it's generating power, and I still pay the highest provincial taxes in the civilized world. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You'd think that having a cash cow like that means that I get
No tax.
no tax. No, I'm not crazy. I understand the need for some taxation.
But at the same time, it also funds other services. Look, we spoke about the daycares. Nobody else has that across Canada, right? I mean, you're allowed.
They will now.
They will now.
How's that working for us? I never really looked at the details.
Well, what happens is that because we already have, the federal government
Just send a check.
said they're going to reimburse us.
So hold on. So the province is getting a tax credit from the federal government, technically, like we do.
But here's the problem. This is where this is where it came in and fucked me up a little bit, because Justin and Premier Legault, they were negotiating on what amount, and Justin said, "I'm going to give you the money if it's going to go to the daycare so that you can help fix the daycare system." Legault was saying, "Go fuck yourself. This is my jurisdiction. I'll do whatever I want. You give me the money with no conditions." It was back and forth, blah blah blah. 2 weeks before the campaign, Justin knows he's gonna.
He says, okay, we'll give you the money, carte blanche.
Justin knows he's going into an election. He's like, "Fuck, I need to settle this agreement right away."
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Legault. All right, no conditions, man. Let's organize.
I'll
the
write
press
you a
conference.
check to
No problem.
cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he says, don't vote for this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks,
so
Justin.
$6 billion over 5 years, unconditional, of which it's a lot of money. I think the money should be used for the daycares. There's over 50,000 kids waiting on lists right now in Quebec. There's a crisis happening.
Yeah, we
and the
need more.
only thing that has come out of this government, I think a couple of weeks ago, the major announcement that Premier Legault had to make regarding the daycares was that in the next 2 years he's going to create 9,000 spots. That's his big mega plan. That's it. You know what I mean?
Doesn't seem mega.
Yeah. So I mean, why don't you use that money? Or if you don't use it, where are you going to use it? Right. So there's no details. We don't know what's going to happen.
So let's see what he says.
But in any case, to go back to what we're saying, I mean, see, we have these, kind of services over here that in the rest of Canada they don't have, and kind of take for granted. And yeah, we're complaining about taxes and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think Quebec is probably the best example of this welfare state, right? In Canada, it's like, what do you
mean by best example? Like an example for a positive view on it, or just the only example?
No, the example of you pay, we take your money, and we give you services. Do you need these services? Do you not need these services? That's not up to you to decide. We're going to offer them to you because we want. We have a huge welfare population.
We do. It's a welfare state.
I mean, it's huge. Anyways. So that's it about Hydro Quebec. Great news. I think everyone can agree on that. Something that came up again on the news, and we have spoken about it very briefly
What did Val do now?
A couple months ago, when Kader kind of made official that he was going to run. And one of the first things that he had said, well, actually, he didn't say it. It came out of his book that he wrote, that in his book, he actually mentions that we should rethink the whole urbanizing policy in Montreal and allow developers to build over the Mont Royal, because we're putting limits on Montreal and we're losing these huge developers to Toronto, and I think Quebec City now is building this huge
Quebec City,
this huge skyscraper.
They have skyscrapers there.
I think they're in the plans, or
in
in Quebec City.
In Quebec City.
Yeah, well, I think the tallest building in Quebec is either being built or will be built in Quebec City.
I've seen tall buildings, but not like skyscrapers in Quebec City. I always thought they don't build because of their heritage site above a certain height.
No.
You know what's
they don't have
wild?
that in Quebec City.
Toronto is crazy.
Toronto's crazy. I love Toronto.
I was on the highway, I think the 401 they have, that's like hour 40 type thing, like the Metropolitan. Yeah. Bro, it's crazy.
No, it's the same highway.
It turns into the 401.
Literally, it's the Trans-Canada.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's the same highway, yeah.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
It's the same thing,
bro, you're going through buildings, bro. Like there's office buildings, there's condos, bro, and you're going it's wild.
It's nice.
It felt like
because
a dream.
R40, like our end of the Trans-Canada doesn't go through the downtown core. It goes through Midtown, basically, like the center of the island. So I mean, once you cross Saint Laurent, you start seeing some pretty high buildings, but like not many, and it looks disgusting. Like if you're traveling through Canada, When you go through Montreal on the 40, you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
And you know
Gross.
what's
Look at all
crazy?
these Italians. Ah.
You know what's crazy?
The best the best is if you're taking the 20. If you're coming into the city from the
Yeah,
20,
yeah.
that's nice. 'cause
Now,
you're-
especially, it's
'cause
really
you're
nice.
seeing all the
It
downtown.
looks like Toronto. You're coming in through the condos,
yeah, yeah.
but I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate how Toronto looks.
I love it. I don't know, man.
I
I love
like it.
big cities.
I like big cities too.
I just don't like the people in Toronto.
I have no
I don't
issue with the
mind
people
them.
of Toronto.
I don't mind the people in Toronto.
Guy,
And
guy,
I don't know-
guy,
I don't
guy.
know how. I don't know why people have
the
this
way
thing
they
about
talk,
people in Toronto.
the way
It's
they
just a
talk.
Montreal thing. People love to talk
The-
shit about Toronto,
Yeah,
and he's
but
basing
Poseidon,
everything
you
he
have to say
knows
something.
on TikTok.
But you have to say something. Torontonians, they think fucking Montrealers speak funny. Yeah, they have like it's normal, dude. It's
You know what I've
different.
noticed?
It's
Toronto
completely-
people from Toronto love people from Montreal.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
just assholes. We're the assholes of Canada. We're fucking assholes.
We hate everyone.
We hate everyone for no reason.
That's funny.
Dude, I hadn't gotten the first time honestly that I went to Toronto was in 2011 or 12 in my entire life.
One
Oh,
thing
really?
I will
Yeah,
say
yeah,
though,
yeah. Get the fuck
I
out
swear to God, I never went.
one thing
Yeah,
I will
what's up?
say, sorry to cut you off, George. One thing I will say is they
Say it.
are 10 times the better drivers than Montreal.
No, I won't agree there at all.
No, I agree 100. I will, bro. I drove
I've
there.
seen some nasty pileups on the DVP, man.
Yeah, but there's gonna be pileups everywhere.
Fair.
Okay. What I'm saying is the courtesy they give you on the highway. If they cut you off,
Oh, they're what everyone thinks Canadians are. They're actually polite.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
polite
yeah,
drivers.
they're polite
I always
drivers.
love that
They're the
stereotype. man.
definition of
No,
Canadians.
not just
We're
Yeah,
not.
not us.
me, I have a big thing when somebody cuts me off and then breaks in front. of me.
Poseidon, not everyone here is like you. Like you're an aggressive example. You clearly something
he's
is
talking-
broken inside
no,
you.
That
It,
time-
no,
that
it happens to
time-
me
hold
too.
on.
The guy
That-
sticks behind your ass. You move over to let him pass. He passes you, and then he switches lane and it comes in front of you. in the middle. It's like,
well,
what
not
the
just
hell?
that,
Why
or
is
if
he
you're
just passing you?
in the left lane going 118, right?
Yeah.
It's right before
Specific.
the threshold, so you don't get a ticket.
Cruise control. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, cruise control, bro. Is they'll try and get in the left lane, but then they get in front of you and brake.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to
You're
speed
in
anymore.
the left lane, bro. If you
Move.
pass me, accelerate, and that's one thing.
So you think
did-
they have bad drivers in Toronto?
no good drivers?
Oh, good drivers.
Good
Okay,
drivers. In Toronto, this one lady, she cut me off and accelerated. I was going like 110. She accelerated. I was like, bravo, madam.
No, I like I said, the first time I went was in 2012, and I had that whole mentality growing up.
Toronto sucks.
Yeah, Toronto sucks. The Leafs and the Habs, and that whole stupid.
I never
immature
had
thing.
that. That's stupid. But
Yeah,
go on.
it is stupid. But we're kids. So, but when I went to Toronto, I'm like, what is wrong with people? The city is beautiful. What is going on? Here?
Here's my issue with Toronto. Why I don't like
I
it.
love
Why
it. I
I could
love
never live there. First of all, it's adopted the commuter lifestyle of you, like you have it too now. But that American commuter lifestyle, I'm not a fan. I want to live, work, and exist within the same area.
That's boring.
You do it.
No, not really.
What are you talking about? You drive an hour and a half to come to work. You take a train in the morning.
No.
Okay, shut up.
No, but I used to drive a lot, like to go work. I used to work in Laval.
That's different. That's because of the work. But he's talking about people living in the suburbs.
No,
and
I
having
mean
to
people living in
commute.
fucking Mississauga and saying I live in Toronto.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but
there's
the
that.
thing is-
That I don't, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
That I don't like, for one. Two, I feel like there's a threshold for when a core, like the part of the city that has giant buildings, should stop growing. Because it starts to encroach on the city's charm. Like Queen West, right? That whole area doesn't have very high buildings. Has really old buildings, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
Then you're in downtown Toronto, and you're like, fucking, it's just downtown for miles.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? Kilometers, sorry. And you're like, there's just too much going on.
Yeah.
So it has that. And it has that American thing about like, everything is a strip mall. Which again, is your reality too, because you live off island. But I don't know. there's something about that always irked me. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. I just don't personally like it. I'm not going to say Toronto sucks. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
look,
all.
maybe you're right, and maybe I went there like as a tourist, thinking, "Well, this is beautiful and I'd love it." But when you actually live there, you get annoyed because of everything that you just
I
mentioned.
love to visit Toronto.
Yeah.
I love it. I've had some of the greatest, most debaucherously drunk experiences of my life. I've premiered films in Toronto. I've gone for TIFF. Like, I like Toronto. I don't think I could ever live there, though. I could live in Ottawa.
Oh
I'd be
my
bored.
goodness.
I'd be bored eventually.
Oh, no.
I like Ottawa. There's something I like that
It hit me
smallness.
like an 18-wheeler.
No.
I was like,
Bam!
I can't live in Ottawa.
No, I
bro.
probably couldn't live in Ottawa either. But
No.
I also do very much enjoy Ottawa. I've never been to Vancouver, believe it or not.
yeah, me neither.
I've actually, that's not true.
My friend's been.
I landed in
I've heard a lot
Vancouver.
of nice things about Vancouver.
Gigi lived in Vancouver right after I got married. I remember he left for a few years. Then he came back. He loved it. But I've never been except for one time at the airport. I realized that I was no longer crossing customs and I could go out to smoke while catching a connection. But I've been to, like, I'm trying to think of all the cities I've ever been to. The only ones that felt like they could be home for me, and I won't include Greece in this list at all. Barcelona feels like a more vibrant Montreal.
Yeah.
Right?
I've heard that. Yeah.
Especially the port area. It feels like Montreal because it also had the Olympics around the same time. So there's a lot of similar architecture. And the Catalonians. What are they?
Catalonians,
The Catalonians. The Cannellonis. The Cannellonis.
The Quebecers of Spain.
They have that like vibe, right? Where they're like, I am better than you. Also, I really think Catalan is way more interesting than Spanish, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So Barcelona for sure. San Francisco.
San Francisco is a
San
great
Francisco.
city,
Aside
Have you
from
been?
No,
except
only
for the
Beautiful
San Francisco has something Montreal doesn't have, which I didn't like, which is drastic poverty. So you'll be walking and it's awesome, and next thing you know, there's people without clothes wearing barrels around you, and you're like, "What just happened?" So like,
And
that
also,
was a
look,
bit of a culture shock.
I love San Francisco. I found it a little too hipster for me, which I can understand why it fits better with you. But
It was a little hipster for even me.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
Then
even
it's,
for
then
me.
it's a lot hipster.
It's a lot
the
hipster
regular
for you,
person.
yeah.
If it's a little too much hipster for Phil.
It wasn't that hipster though.
If
I don't
LA,
know.
if
No, it
LA
was.
wasn't such a fucking shithole, I'd be able to live in LA
I
also.
hate LA. I didn't like it at all.
I like
I
it.
think I built Los Angeles as someone who went to film school and grew up in that culture. Like LA for me was this fucking
Dreamy, yeah.
And I got there, I was like, yo, this is a cesspit. This is terrible. I went to Hollywood Boulevard, I'm like, yo, there's piss everywhere. This is bad. This is very bad.
I liked LA, but I didn't like the people.
But I mean, the people, I've never had issue with people in general when I
The
travel.
coast is nice though. The coast is nice because I haven't gone to LA.
No,
I
fuck
went-
LA. Fuck LA, but like that whole section of California, because I drove the PCH with Anna. It was the year after we got married, we did it, right?
Right.
Like we stayed in, where was Clint Eastwood, fucking mayor for a while?
Clint Eastwood was a mayor.
Malibu.
Monterey Bay.
Okay.
Went to Monterey Bay, we went to Morro Rock. We stopped in these little towns along the way. I fucking loved
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah, it's
like
gorgeous,
LA
but-
was
but
just not interesting for me.
The
I
issue
didn't,
is
I didn't
it's
go all the way down
California.
there because I was in.
What's the issue? Oh yeah, I know
They
what you're getting at.
bamboozled that state, bro.
I was in that south because I went to San Jose and from there we drove up to San Francisco.
That's further south.
Then
Oh
LA,
no, I think San Diego.
Yeah, no.
Anna went to San Diego before I met her, and she always talks about it. And I'd love to go. I've never been.
Yeah.
So
So
studio tours were fun.
I
like,
see myself living in Florida.
okay, so
I've never
okay,
been to Florida.
I spent
Yeah,
a lot of time
Keep going
in
with
Florida.
your cities. Yeah. Okay.
Wrestling,
Barcelona,
wrestling with
San
alligators.
Francisco.
Barcelona, San Francisco, Paris. Paris felt like home.
Okay.
Paris felt like home. I could have been walking on McGill Street half the time. Like
Yeah.
it felt so natural for me to be there. And I also like hear my accent when I speak French. It irks people, I find, or maybe that's just in my head. In France, people are like, oh, what is this?
Speaking French?
No, I don't want to.
What kind of French
I don't want
is
to.
this?
Je veux pas parler français.
Don't you know that that's like a long running gag of everything we've ever done? I refuse to speak French on camera.
Non, mais parle français, Phil.
No, but I don't speak French. Je n'ose pas comme les mecs, comme ça, on fume pas des clopes. That's not my French. It's just my French it's very, very Québécois, but it's also very, very Greek.
It's true. I've never heard you speak French.
I spoke with your girlfriend and she's like confused by me, like, because I don't have a Québécois accent, but I don't sound like bonjour, j'habite sur Green Avenue, là. Like, I don't have that, but I use a lot of Québécois euphemisms because I grew up here. But my accent sounds more European because the Greek like pulls at it, right?
Yeah.
So in France, they're like, man,
Interesting.
where are you from? They're
where
like,
are you from?
I'm like, I'm Québécois. They're like, no, you lie. You are a dirty liar. You are not Québécois.
I remember when
so I just tell them I'm Greek, and they're like, oh, that makes sense.
I remember when I went to Greece, I was chilling, you know the restaurant where you see the Parthenon?
Yeah, there's only one of them.
There's like 100 of
There's
them.
only one of them.
No, but it's in the museum.
Oh, the one on top. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
terrace in
okay,
the
yeah,
Acropolis
yeah.
Museum.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
You could have said that, bro.
Yeah.
The terrace at the
You
museum.
know that restaurant where you see the
restaurant
Acropolis?
You can see the Acropolis. There's like fucking thousands of them.
Maybe not thousands.
Whatever, yeah.
I was chilling there, bro, eating and drinking. I was with my ex-girlfriend.
That's a baller lunch spot. Honestly, it really
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
Yeah, I was balling at the time.
At the time.
No, it's true. And bro, there's these French people there chilling, and then I don't know what it was for. I think it was for a chair or some shit. I was like, how old was I? I think I was 20. I was 20, and in my head I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna show off my French." Huh?
Yeah, of course. I do that all the time
like,
abroad.
You know, they're speaking French, and like they're gonna think I'm a Greekster because I was full tan too. They're gonna think I'm a
I was
Greekster.
full tan, bro.
And then I'm like, I'm gonna pull out the French. They're gonna be in shock. And then I pulled out the French. They're like, oh, mais tu parles français.
You want to laugh? When I'm here, I will go out of my way to not speak French. I don't know, some like the Anglo community did a real number on me as a kid.
Yeah.
Like I really was like, we're oppressed, but like I don't believe that anymore. But like when people are speaking French around me, the second I realize they speak English, I'm switched. I'm done.
Really?
Because whatever. That's just me. I'm also more comfortable in English. I'm way more comfortable in English. Wait.
No.
But when I'm abroad, I will go out of my way to speak with French people.
Really?
Like French or Quebecois, or even black people. Like, because most of them speak French as a second language, right? Like, not Americans.
In Africa, yeah.
So what really fucks me up in Greece, there's black guys who sell stuff on the street, like Senegalese guys or wherever they're from, right? And I'll walk up to them and they'll speak to me in perfect Greek, and my brain does this weird like, and I'm like, boom, straight French. And the guy's like, why are you speaking to me in French? I don't speak French. This is Greece. Do you speak Greek?
What?
I'm like, no, we speak French. And he's like, but you're black. Why don't you speak French? Like my brain gets all confused. And they're like, oh, you're from Canada. Okay. Like they get it.
You know what pisses me off about our province is there's so many countries that have 6 official languages. Like Senegal, I think they speak 6 languages within the country.
Yeah.
And they
I don't know
all
about the number,
understand
but yeah.
them about 6. I know because I have a Senegalese neighbor. Used to have a Senegalese neighbor. They have 6 languages that they all speak and understand.
Yeah.
Right? Why the fuck can't we get along with English and French?
So here's
here,
the thing. You're speaking from a position of the son of immigrants, right? You came here.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't come here. Actually, are you born here?
Yeah.
You are, right?
I was born here, yeah.
Yeah.
But I speak 3 languages. My first words were Greek.
Yeah.
Fine. So you came here and you had this like this post-colonial school of thought, right? Which is be grateful. Be grateful for the things we have. And I'm not saying it's wrong. Like my parents were born here, but my grandparents came here. It was not a good situation that they were leaving, right? Like Greece was enthralled in a deeply, disgustingly bloody civil war, right? And especially the region that we're from was
When was the Civil War?
It ended in 50. It started in the 40s.
Yeah.
It ended in like
after
56.
World War II until the mid-50s, yeah.
And it continued kind of silently as a Cold War after for a while because it was the first battlefield of the Cold War, right?
And my father left when he was like 5, I think.
Yeah, so my grandfather was born in 1930, so like he was of age. He was 30 when he came here. He was quite old. Like even though Greece was decimated after the Second World War, like he had an okay life after the war until the Civil War like destroyed everything, killed his father, like it was bad. So they come here and they're grateful. And they have a hard time learning French, but they're just so grateful. And they realize that they're different from the people that are already here, right? Like, we're Greeks. So for us, it was always easy to understand that, the Quebecois are different than the other Canadians.
Yeah.
They're a separate culture.
Yeah.
We understood that because we were coming in as a separate culture. The difference, though, and why you can't wrap your mind around this linguistic struggle, this cultural struggle, is the Quebecois have nothing to be grateful for to the rest of Canada. In their opinion. I'm not making a statement. I'm trying to understand them, right? Because they didn't come here and said, hey, English Canadians, can we live here? They came before the English Canadians were in charge. So they had their own thing going.
Yeah,
and then it was fucked up,
and they
right?
Lost. Yeah.
But at the same time, even they weren't the first ones here. It's this idea of first that fucks with people. So maybe you're right. Maybe and I agree with you, we should celebrate bilingualism and the fact that we have 2 official cultures, technically. I think that's cool. Like, I always celebrate, like, I bitch and I moan about French and I get mad sometimes. But, like, I'm happy that I speak French. Yeah. If anything, I'm unhappy that I don't speak it better. The one thing I was never able to do was deeply ingrain myself in Quebecois culture.
Yeah.
Which I did with Greek culture for some reason. I was able to.
It's also because of your background, right? I mean, it's such a.
I made a choice a long time ago.
Community that like we're so connected, but you're going to see that it's going to start changing from the following generations. Like your daughters,
of course,
won't be as accustomed to that as you were. They're going to be much more integrated.
I mean, I'm pretty integrated. I went to Greek school and then I went into the English system, so I integrated into a different community. But then I worked for the government for almost a decade.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
That's where my friends were. That was my everyday life. It was deep.
Yeah.
So
deep in the sauce.
Deep in la sauce. The poutine sauce, you know? But weird statement to make after all the gay guy stuff I said. But anyways. So like I made a decision a long time ago that I was gonna focus on Greek culture and like because you can only be a part of so many things without stretching yourself thin, right?
Yeah.
So like I became obsessed with not the Greek culture here. I mean the Greek culture
like
in Greece.
Greek, yeah.
Because I realized it was so different from the culture I was raised in, right? Because we're not the same.
No,
we're not. Anyone who pretends like we are is dumb.
No, we're not. No, we're Greeks from abroad. That's what.
Yeah, we're the homogenes.
And you realize
I'm
that when you go,
considered
look,
an
I lived
immigrant.
in Greece, and that's where you kind of see it. You know, it's like when you go on vacation for a month or two, you know, you're having fun, your mind is elsewhere. But
Yeah.
when you're living there and you're exposed to all these things, you know, you realize first of all how different you are,
Yeah.
how differently you've been raised. There's a bunch of things that happen.
It's
but,
I honestly it was like an identity thing for me. Like at some point I came to terms with the fact that we're not Greeks, we're something else. Like we're not the same, right? But I also got to
we're
I got
Canadians.
and I got to learn about that culture by having to teach Greek Canadian culture to Greeks from Greece. And I'm like, what do you mean this doesn't make sense to you? Like, what are you talking about, right?
Because we're Greek and we want to stay close to our roots, and so.
But the roots that we're hanging on to, maybe not unlike the Quebecois people, they're not what we think they are. They're this idea, this thing we've built in our minds. But culture is a construct, right? Like, culture changes. It's not a static thing. And there's nothing wrong with celebrating parts of the culture that are no longer popular or that have fallen into disuse and that kind of stuff. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I went on a tangent, but that's why you're like, I don't understand why we can't celebrate. We can celebrate it. But the fight, the struggle of the Nation Québécoise, that's something else that we can't fully ever understand. We're not built for it. We don't have the tools to understand it. I also don't know if it's really what it is. Like, I don't know if it is what they think it is, to be honest. Like, it's not...
like the Greek Canadian culture.
No, the Quebecois, the
Quebecois
Quebecois struggle. I'm not sure, but again, who am I? Am I qualified to speak on their behalf? I'm
What
not.
happened was when the war happened between the 13 colonies and England,
Yeah.
there were still the loyalists. They called them. They still wanted to remain connected to the Britain. So they went up north, and then there was another war between, the English and the
I
French.
love how simplified this
Hold on,
is.
he's just...
And the
you have a
French-
wiki page open? What's going on?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I learned this in history
So
class.
the loyalists went north, yeah?
Yeah, they went north and blah, blah, blah. And then the French lost again to the English.
As they do.
Yeah, and then, Quebec and the rest of...
I mean Lower Canada.
Lower Canada became an English colony.
Yes,
So
it was ceded.
The
yeah.
13 colonies were no more. They were now the United States of
Yeah,
America.
and then during the War of 1812, the British, while burning down the White House, fucking slaughtered some of the French, too, that were still here
Yeah.
because they were trying to... Yeah, okay, but
And-
what
and
are you trying to
happened-
get? What's the point you're
What
making?
happened is because the English won, they tried to assimilate then French from then, the Quebecois, into the English language. So, they wouldn't teach them French or some shit. Or
But here's the crazy thing that always confused me.
So then
right?
the way they revolted, because they couldn't fight anymore because they were going to lose, the way they fought was the church forced French people to have a shit ton of children. Well, they didn't force them, but they were like have children, like crazy. Some of them would
What's
have
happening?
like 15 children, and that's how they kept the Quebecois.
So the idea of a Quebecois nation
I think I'm not 100%
is a contemporary concept. There wasn't like a tribe of people who became the Quebecois.
No,
it
but
was
that's
a
how
bunch
they-
of people from different parts of France,
I
right?
understand, but
Because
that's how
people
they-
always separate them from the Acadians.
But that's how they kept the
Right?
French, though.
I mean, that's maybe an oversimplification to some extent, but these were people who were French citizens who came here and they lived as French citizens in the New World. And one day that was uprooted and changed because of wars, right?
Yeah.
But like, for some reason, maybe it was hate for the British, which is probably a good reason, they didn't want to assimilate into the new culture.
Yeah, I know.
Whereas the Acadians, especially the ones who were on the wrong side of the Louisiana Purchase, who became the Cajuns, right?
The Cajun, yeah.
Yeah, the Cajuns are the Acadians. They, like, what they did is interesting because they grew, their culture, it morphed into something else.
Yeah.
And it evolved. And it became part of the mainstream, but it still was its own thing. Whereas here, they're like, no, we're not going to do that first part. We're just going to do this. And that's when the Quebecois nation, the idea, like, that's the
Yeah.
ethnogenesis of the Quebecois nation, right? So it's not like they were one specific, they were French. They were just French. And I guess a lot of Métis. Is Métis still an okay word? Can you say Métis?
Yeah.
Yeah? I never know anymore.
But the reason why there's such a hate for English is because also Quebec, for the most part throughout history, has been kind of that middle child everyone forgets or kind of shits on.
That's not at all true.
No,
That is
not-
the most inept analogy. Quebec was the fucking older brother that had everything, built his own business, and then the rest of Canada said, let's cut this shit up. Quebec was like the first version of Canada, in my opinion.
Really?
Lower Canada was Canada.
It was Canada.
Like we have all the fucking natural resources then. Okay, I mean, and there's oil now and stuff.
No, I
but
know,
like we
but
got the water, we got the lumber, we got the
but that's
access
the
to the
thing.
fucking ocean. We have everything.
Yeah, they came and they broke it apart. They fucking cut that shit in half, you know?
They didn't really break it apart. Confederacy kind of forced us to share. Like
Well,
we got
yeah,
a bum
but that's
deal,
the thing.
considering how powerful we were.
But even
we got a bum deal when we signed into the Confederacy.
Even in World War II, they were like ship off the Quebecois first. You know, like they've treated Quebec kind of like that.
He has a very strange understanding of Quebec history. Like, it's not wrong. Nothing he's saying is actually wrong. It's just out of context. And he's like, yeah, fuck him, send him off.
I just feel like he was sitting in class listening to the teacher.
And he picked off numbers
No,
and
but
stuff.
as the teacher's talking, he's just making his own version. Okay, how do I understand this better? Oh, yeah, they're fucking assholes.
Oh my God, Christine, you can't say that in the chat. Jesus Christ.
Say what?
Fuck, I'm not reading it out loud. Jesus.
Poseidon is not wrong. The church was visiting my grandma every month. She wasn't prego.
Yeah, because they wanted to make sure they weren't A, having anal sex, or B, using contraception. They're like, don't do that.
I don't think they had contraception like we have today.
They did. They used to flip them over.
What? I don't get it.
What do you mean?
Flip them over?
Don't make me explain it. It's going to make it weird.
Explain.
No. George, give him sex ed.
It's okay. Let's go back to what
Like
we're talking
anal,
about.
they will do anal.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, we're
It's a
talking.
morning show, Poseidon.
Yeah, we were talking about. Oh, Jesus Christ! It only lasted a couple of seconds, and then you took off with your favorite cities.
Oh, did I finish that?
No.
San Francisco, Barcelona, Paris.
Okay.
I like them. Least favorite cities. Least favorite cities? Probably LA. For sure LA. And I want to say fucking Rome. I
What?
did not like Rome.
I haven't traveled that much.
It was hard to get around.
Yeah, look, I haven't traveled that much, but from the cities that
No, I liked Rome. I liked Rome.
the
They had good
cities that I've seen.
sandwiches.
Look, obviously, I've lived in Athens, so for me, Athens,
I love Athens. I love how chaotic Athens is.
I love Athens.
Oh, it's insane, bro.
It's nuts.
But yeah,
you're honest. You're going anywhere. You're doing anything in Athens. You're taking your own life in your hands. It's incredible.
Yeah.
You feel so alive.
And I stayed on ammonia.
Yeah, that's,
I mean, you're Albanian. That's where you'd go.
Fuck with you, bro. I kept getting approached by
Peksu me bala simera? Peksu me bala? Tes nagora si
I
bala?
don't know if you guys saw. They
kept getting
cleaned
approached
up
by
the
shitty
square.
characters.
No, but have you seen what they've done to Omonia Square?
No, I haven't.
No, I
it's-
haven't been to Omonia
Bro,
since 1999.
Me, I got tricked by my hotel, by the way. Bro, across my hotel, you know what it is? It was an abandoned prison, bro. Across my hotel.
At Omonia.
Yeah, so I had booked my hotel in Omonia. Now, I didn't know at the time, in 2014, was it? I didn't know at the time what the fuck Omonia was, that it was the ghetto, whatever
Sketchy,
the fuck,
yeah.
sketchy, whatever the fuck. So, man, I see a nice hotel, pictures, this, that, but there's no, like, it didn't click to me. There was no pictures around the hotel, just the hotel, the exterior, right? So it looks nice as that. The rooms look nice. Bro, I get there, bro. The hotel looks run down. It was old pictures, bro. Bro, looks run down. Bro, there's crackheads everywhere. There's crack whores. Bro, I was losing my fucking shit, bro.
It changed. It's
Across
crazy
the
the transformation because when I was living there, they had cleaned up Omonia. It was nice in 2006-07, and then I guess after that it degenerated. I mean, it became what it was, and now again they revamped it.
An Albanian guy tried to rob me because I had crisp 10 euro bills.
Crisp.
Yeah, they were fresh out of the bank. So he saw that and he goes, "Oh, they're fucking they're crisp, your bills." I'm like, "Yeah."
Why
Where'd
would you be
get them?"
showing bills to people, man?
Oh, because I had to buy something. Bro.
Oh, okay.
Malaka.
He's buying drugs. He's on Omonia. He's buying fucking
you know
an 8
those,
ball.
You know those debts they have, but them it's the
peripheral.
kiosk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the peripheral.
kiosks.
And then this guy was busting me. He goes, "Have a seat. Let's chat." He goes, "Have a seat right here on a milk crate." Bro, the guy was probably gonna call a few of his buddies and fucking bamboozle me and rob me. I'm like, "Fuck Uye, bro. Give me my 7-Up."
Fuck Uye.
Don't
I'm sure
take
he
Latin
understood-
here.
I'm sure he understood that one. No, but anyways, no, Athens is nice.
Ever been to any other Greek cities, you? Like, have you traveled Greece to big, like Thessaloniki, Heraklion?
Yeah, I've been to Crete. I've done.
I've never done the bigger. I've done Rhodes. I mean, the Rhodes in Patra.
Crete is beautiful. Crete is
I've never been.
Crete
It's,
is a beautiful
it's on the
island.
list. It's on the list.
Crete. I've been to obviously lots of islands. I've been
Crete.
to the
I would live
Peloponnese.
in Crete.
Crete is nice. Crete is nice.
Oh.
I've never even been, but I know that I would too, just on how people describe it.
No. You don't understand. I think Crete.
But not all of Crete. Like Heraklion, I didn't like at all.
No,
I used to fight.
Chania is nice.
'cause
Chania and Rethymno are the.
Chania is nice. Iraklio depends where you go. I wouldn't live in Iraklio, but there is a new part of Iraklio, down from old Iraklio, where you go and it feels like you're in Miami.
Yeah.
I hate fucking Florida. and I spent a lot of time there,
Yeah.
and I did not like it. The idea that it takes me at least 25 minutes to go anywhere pisses me off. I like old Miami.
That's not bad. 25 minutes.
25 minutes, George,
Well,
to go to buy milk.
okay.
We're in
Florida. Everything's just. I spent almost 2 years. For 2 years,
I thought you were talking about like work wise and that kind of stuff.
No. I just mean like basic stuff. Like for 2 years, 6 to 8 days a month, I was in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, eventually I would get bored and I would go do other things like random stuff. Like there was parts of Florida that I really liked. Like I liked certain food that they had. I liked things you could do. But in general, Florida was weird for me.
Yeah.
And the first 2 trips, I was like, whatever, I'm just not used to it. By the end, I was like, this is a godforsaken place. This is a godforsaken place. God is not here anymore.
Yeah.
And I need to leave. But now I fucking kind of miss it.
Yeah.
Because it was gross and it was fun. But I don't know. I think I'm just sad that I haven't traveled in almost 2 years now. That's what it is.
When we went to Colombia with my wife, Bogota, I can't stand it. I mean, it's just massive chaos. But when we traveled to Cartagena in the north, that is one crazy city.
Yeah?
Oh, man. What a beautiful
Tell Poseidon about it while I go and use the little boys' room.
You're going to go to, yeah.
I'm going to go a little bit pee-pee.
Go ahead.
It's
Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful city. It has like this colonial. It's like there's a wall, there's a fortress.
Which city?
Cartagena. So it's in the northernmost part of Colombia. It's on the shore.
Okay.
They have a wall. There's like an old fort. So there's an old city in the fort, and then the rest, which is very touristic. I've never been to Miami. I've seen pictures of Miami, but it looks exactly like that. As you're approaching the city, you see the city line, and it's just it's a beautiful city. My wife is telling me to go visit Colombia, and I'm telling you, listen, if we go, there's no way I'm going to Bogota. I know you have family there. I know you want to see them and stuff. Maybe they want to see the kids, but I just can't stand that city. It's just
the only
way
thing
too
about
chaotic.
Miami is I don't like the lifestyle there.
What kind of lifestyle is
It's
it?
too party lifestyle. You
Really?
can't. You can't just like everything's fake. Also, you can't unless you're young and you're be like I feel like you can't raise a family in Miami. But if I were to pick a place of where I would live for the rest of my life, it would be in Crete. Crete, somewhere around Chania, but up in the mountains, a nice villa where you
Never
oversee
in the mountains, bro. Oh yeah. No, you need the water. Yeah,
where you see the ocean, though, not mountain like
Yeah.
up. I mean, like
like not lost in the woods kind of thing.
No, not like that. Where you're like close to all the cities,
Yeah.
but also kind of far away.
Yeah.
Because I had booked a hotel over there, bro. It was perfect. It was
This is
up-
where Chania.
Chania.
Yeah.
I had booked a hotel, bro, for 8 days that I stayed there. Bro, it was up on the mountainside, bro, and you were able to see. First of all, you were able to see all of Chania, and you were able to see the ocean, bro. It was gorgeous,
Yeah.
bro. I still have pictures.
Yeah. No, Crete is nice. It's the perfect climate.
I remembered my
It's the
least
perfect
favorite
climate.
city in the world.
Yeah.
So on my honeymoon,
Oh
we
shit.
decided to do Spain because I had always wanted to go to Spain. It was like I had built it up in my head. We land in Rome. We do 3 days in Rome. We see the sights, whatever. We fuck off. We go to Madrid, where Anna's best friend was living at the time. So we get the locals version of Madrid, which was fun. Not a great city, but not a bad city. Just Madrid's. It is what it is. We go to Barcelona. It's fun, and then we go because we wanted to go swimming. It was late September to Malaga. The worst place in the world. Okay, anyone who goes on about how the coast of Malaga is beautiful is estúpido. Okay,
Stupido.
we stayed at a 5-star place
Yeah.
right on the main strip of Malaga where all the good beaches are on Calle de Antonio Banderas because he's from Malaga. He's not Mexican. I don't know if you know this. He's a Spaniard, right? And we went. It's not the Mediterranean there. It's called, I can't remember, the Iberian Sea.
Oh,
It's this little sea.
Okay.
It's within the Mediterranean. So we get there and the beaches are
España.
in Spain, in Malaga. And everybody speaks funny there, So we go to the beach and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It looked like Fort Lauderdale's beach, like green.
The Alboran Sea.
Which?
Alboran Sea.
Alboran. That's not it, I don't think.
No, it's there. I literally see Malaga,
Okay.
and it's the
How,
Alboran.
are you just mispronouncing it?
No, it says Alboran.
How does it spelled?
Alboran.
Alboran?
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe. You might be right. I don't remember. Anyways, so I'm swimming there. I was like, this is not nice. It's like seaweed and not what I expect of the
Mediterranean. Time though. This in September, yeah. Maybe
it's late September, and the guy told me not a great time to be here. I'm like, that would have been nice when I fucking booked it to tell me, because we had always said we'll start off, deeper into the Mediterranean, and we'll make our way out, and then we'll fly to Paris on the way back home. I mean, by the time we got to Paris, it was fucking cold. We had no jackets. We had to buy jackets. I remember being on the Eiffel Tower in a jean jacket, shivering. I'm like, we need to leave. And like, I grew up in Canada. It was too cold for me. I was like, we need to fuck off. And they're like, oh, les Canadiens ont froid. Voici une baguette pour ton cul. Like, whatever. The French hate us. I don't know. I'm just speaking random French, I don't know. So Malaga sucked. The beach sucked. I was swimming one day and there was like a used condom in the water. I'm like,
Nice.
So we leave from the beach and we're like, let's go and see old Malaga. For a city that has an old city vibe, I didn't think it would have a ghetto, but it did. In LA in the Terminator, they have that trench.
Yeah.
They have one of those in Malaga too, right? What I didn't know is once you cross it, there's only one way back, and it's the El Ghetto. Like, it's bad.
Shit.
So we're walking, and Anna's like, we're lost. I'm like, and it's like, what are sokake in English? Like little streets, little narrows. I was like, I don't know what the fuck we are. I go, look, we're in a small European city. How bad can it be near the coast?
Yeah.
I go, just go downhill and we'll end up back at the water.
Yeah.
Like, that's how all cities work.
Yeah.
Wrong. Malaga is uphill, then downhill, then uphill again. So I was just going deeper into this, like there was sneakers hanging on strings and people with dogs fighting with dice in the street.
No way.
And Anna's like, we're going to die here. I'm like, we're going to fucking die here. I go, and you wear a fucking little sundress. And now I'm going to have to die making sure you don't get raped. Like I'm yelling at her. And she goes to me, she's almost crying. She goes, I'm not wearing underwear. I go, why aren't you wearing fucking underwear? It was the last day of our trip.
That's so strange. You should have said that.
We had run out of, we had run out of like clean clothes. It was the end of our trip. We needed to do laundry. And I was like, I'm not wearing underwear either, but I'm wearing pants. God damn it. I was like, this is terrible. We need to get out of here. And like, I'm trying to ask locals for directions. And they're like, eh? I was like, oh man, we're going to die here. So we finally get out, whatever, without real incident. We're like panicked though, because like I can pass as a local anywhere in Southern Europe. Like no one's gonna see me and be like, tourist, let's get him. Yeah. Not my German-looking wife though, like in a sundress and a frilly frock. She's like, oh, I'm Helga. I've come to see your lovely city.
Helga.
So like Anna doesn't blend well in that part of Europe. So I never feel, even if I'm in a dangerous place, especially if I'm alone, I don't feel like people are gonna be like, tourists, let's get him, because I can disappear in a crowd anywhere. Like, especially in like Italy, Spain, like I'm fine. Yeah. In Greece, I mean, I'm completely fine. Yeah. But Anna is like, dunk. I mean, I've gotten screwed in cabs in Greece because she was with me. And they've overcharged me. I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, tourist. I'm like, me? No, I'm from here. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Nah, come on. What are you doing? So like, I was really worried when we were in Malaga. I was like, we're going to get beaten up.
Anyways, all this to say, coming back to the original story, should Montreal be allowed to have skyscrapers that surpass?
Is that what we're talking about?
That was exactly what we're talking about. We drifted off.
I think the answer is no.
Minutes.
The answer is no.
You don't think we should?
I don't see any reason to build up anymore right now.
Are you insane?
Tell me why. I know that we have the Sky Mall coming to Beaumont 2027. Hashtag Sky Mall, guys. Hashtag Sky Mall. Fuck.
Well, look, he's right. He says that if we look at the circumstances now, where all the office buildings are empty because everyone's working from home, and
there's
all that
no
kind of stuff. There is no reason, but when you
think about it for a second, Poseidon, why? Like,
because his argument is going to be that if you visit major cities across the world, like the downtown core has big, huge development.
But we have some.
That's not my only argument. My other argument is this pandemic thing isn't gonna last forever, bro.
Oh no, but the changes to our lifestyle are forever. That's some of them,
bro. I was reading something the other day, bro. They had a pandemic. The Spanish flu, bro. Right?
They weren't building skyscrapers at that time.
No, I understand, but hold on. A lot of the shit that happened then didn't stay. Did you know they had a vaccine passport back then? They just didn't call it the Vax passport. They called it something else.
For what? For polio?
No, for the Spanish flu.
Oh,
they called it the immunization papers or something.
Immunization papers.
Immunization papers.
Yeah, of course.
So they had the same thing, but a lot of the shit from at that time when they passed them didn't say. I don't think all this shit that's happening. I don't think any of this.
Poseidon, you're forgetting something. You're looking at the past with your current knowledge. there's no reason ever for most companies to ever go back to a full-time in-office situation. They're saving money now, and that's all that matters. It's cheaper for them to have this hybrid system. The downtown will never be the mecca of employees in like white shirts that it ever was. It'll never go back to that. But it'll get closer to what it was, but there's no need for it.
But let's
we have
forget
technology.
about that. Let's go with the argument that, because this is the argument, right? Where it's not permitted. It's because we want to protect, a heritage site, the Mount Royal, and we need the visual reference, right?
Isn't Place Ville-Marie taller than the mountain?
No.
What do they have that observatory? You can see the top of the mountain from it.
No, it's not. It's not. I think it's the limit. The tallest one is the St. Joseph.
But it's on the mountain. That's why it's taller.
Yeah. If not,
that's cheating. That doesn't count.
Well, maybe it's not. It's not taller than the cross. Maybe it is.
No, it is. I've been up to the. Yeah, it is.
Anyway, so the argument is that look at New York, for example, where they have this huge concrete jungle all around Central Park. I think it's beautiful. I don't know. I don't know why we could. I understand the point of view now that given the circumstances, maybe we won't return back to any sort of normal lifestyle that we had before.
What I said was not a thing based solely on COVID. When I said what for, I mean okay, look, for example, right down the street from here, they're destroying part of Marché Central. I don't know if you've seen it, right off the highway.
Yeah.
And they're building fucking like 100,000 condo units.
Oh, it's condos
or whatever.
over there.
It's all condos.
I thought it was a Walmart.
No, Walmart had bought the land. I remember hearing that too. But no, it's condos. But it's going to be mixed with businesses. So it's going to be a bit of both. Now, good location to live. It really is. It's very central. It's literally off Marché Central. But do we need more condos? We're saturated in condos, and I can't find a house. You're telling me you have all this usable land. You're not building new neighborhoods on the island. What the fuck are you doing?
Because it's more profitable, man.
Yeah, so why isn't the city getting involved? This is where the city needs to get involved and be like, look, we've hit our quota for condos, for like small dwellings. We need homes.
No.
Like, I understand that the developers want to make more money. They're going to make more money off of the condos. I get it. But what's going to happen? We don't need that many condos. So a bunch of Chinese nationals and Chinese corporations and offshore corporations are going to buy them as holding, shoot up fucking prices of all real estate in the city like we've been doing, and I'm still not going to have a house. Now, I'm using it as a very personal example because it affects me directly. But Montreal still has usable land that we can build on. We're a fucking island. When we run out of all that land, then we can start building up. That's my opinion.
Japan.
Yeah, exactly. Japan's doing it way better than we are, but yeah. And also, when the fuck are we going to blast through the mountain and build a proper metro line that services the center of the island? We keep talking about pink lines and bullshit.
But isn't it like a dormant volcano also? So it's
What?
No, it's an extinct volcano. At some point in its history, it was a volcano. It was formed by volcanic things, but it's not. It's not dormant. It's just a mountain.
Okay.
Yeah. Because me too, when I was a kid, I was like, yo, one day it's going to blow. It's going to be like Dante's Peak up in this bitch. Yeah. No, Montreal has way more serious problems that it needs to address than fucking building more buildings.
We should fix our roads.
Our roads will never get fixed. They're not going to get fixed because the reason they are the way they are is because of the corruption in the city, because it creates recurring revenue for a bunch of people who have their hands in other people's pockets. And I'm okay with that. I have accepted it.
I'm going to go into construction, bro.
You do great in construction.
Do it. Man, we went off today, what else did I have here for you guys? Okay, yeah. Important thing, very quickly before we sign off.
I understand the tax thing that you guys are saying in the chat. I'm just I'm doing what the city never does. I'm thinking like this. What do the citizens need? Right? I know that's not going to happen. I'm talking in utopian terms, but really that's what we need because I'm pissed off and I'm tired of living in my fucking old house, my parents' house.
Take advantage of it, man.
Look, it has its perks. I'm not going to lie, and it's been way easier than I ever expected.
Yeah.
Also very nostalgic, like to see my kids live in the room that I lived in and like do the stuff. Like I think my wife the other day sends me a text on the back of one of the doors in one of the rooms. My sister, when we were kids, had written Phil Plus, the girl's name that I like, and it's still there. Nobody knew it was there except for us. Yeah. Me and my sister. So like Anna's like, is something you want to tell me? I'm like, fuck, that's been there for like I don't know how many years. But it's not mine. It's not my home. I mean, it is my home. I grew up there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't see things getting better. I see more condos going up. I don't need another condo. I had a condo. It was fun for a bit. I want a house now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a George. I don't want to live so
there's
far away.
You will all end up like George.
Don't you fucking shut your dirty whore mouth.
Well, there's no companies that see the value in development projects, because in the States they'll turn huge areas of land into brand new suburban
Actually, I
neighborhoods.
read they're building a new city. It's called Tolosa. It's some rich billionaire. He's building a city in the desert.
Well, that's
in
what
the United
they
States.
do. That's what they do. Is they get all these projects.
No. This is not what they do. This is something different. He's building a city.
Oh, really?
Like, it'll be ready in like 25 years. It's a city of 5 million. It's bigger than Vegas in size, but it's saying sustainable, the city of the future. It's one of these.
Really?
But like everyone who's like criticizing it, they're like, they're just greenwashing an idea. It's probably of like, he's not going to do shit. How is he going to get water in the desert? Vegas can barely get water. Where are you getting water from?
Yeah.
So it's still interesting that they're building a city, because I've always said we should build a new city in Canada. We have lots of land.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have plenty of rivers and shit.
Sure. I'm going to end the morning show there. Goodbye. No plugs, no nothing. Goodbye.
Hey, hey man, you better plug your asshole.
Are we playing the music?
See.
I don't hear it. There it is. Alright. Like a Greek DJ in the 80s. Alright. This has been the morning show. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a different kind of episode today. We did story time. We did something they only do on the intellectuals.
We did arts and crafts.
If he wasn't so fucking repulsively gross with mucus, I'd throw my hat at him. We did something different. We did what they do on the intellectuals. We did a list, like top cities, like top birds. My favorite intellectuals episode. They just talked about birds. It's weird. You can see Poseidon, the intellectuals, and all that stuff. You follow Poseidon at ThePoseidon69. He is the producer of the hour, making the morning show great again.
It's always been great.
Yes, that's what I wanted. But you were slow. You're not all right today, huh?
Well, I mean, I'm fucking congested. I can barely hear where.
Aha, so you admit it.
No, my sinuses are fucked. I can barely hear with headphones on.
Check him out at ThePoseidon69. You should see a doctor, by the way, if that's what's happening. Pantelis, what is it? Patreon.com/Pantelis. Early access to all the content from this channel. And you get all kinds of perks, and you can win stuff. And Pantelis will even send you weird stuff. Like in the Discord, through the automated bots. Not here today, but, follow Pantelis. If you're here, you're probably already following him. George, the man from Brossard, the mouth of the south, the whore of the Saint Lore. Oh, that was all right, bro. You like it?
The whore of what?
Of Saint Lore. Saint Laurent? Nah. The hoe of Saint Lo. How's that? Is that better? Just Us Dads is a podcast about being a dad. Backstage podcast where he talks to politicians, and soon he'll have Trudeau on, and Trudeau will let him know. Exclusive on the Backstage podcast. I'm lying. Of Trudeau coming in after the election saying how he won with a majority. He's crazy. My name is Phil Balabanos, balabanos.com. If you need Widgeos by Phil. And we'll see you next week. No, that's not true. We'll see you on Friday.
Yeah.
On Friday morning show, guys. Goodbye.
Motherfuckers.
Take care.
Who says it always? Ciao, ciao. Is that you?
Yeah, ciao,
Good.
ciao.
Fuck you, Poseidon.